signs of progress as they rebuild for the future. The latest development was a defensive clinic last night in the Bronx to secure a series win against the second-place Yankees. Tonight, the Southsiders return home for another difficult barrier, a four-game showdown with Boston and their Major League best 92 wins for the Red Sox. The White and the Red Sox next on NBC Sports Chicago. Back home to Chicago, a long homestand starting tonight on a lovely Thursday evening as the Red Sox at 92 and 42 visit Yolmer Sanchez Keep It Fun t-shirts for you here on NBC Sports Chicago, home of the authentic fan. Thanks for joining us once again. Jason Benetti, Steve Stone along with you. The White Sox are 11 and 4 in their last 15 games, and it's not luck. It is clean, strong baseball.
When you take a look at all of the numbers, you realize why they're playing their best baseball of the year. I mean, top to bottom, every number stands out. 268 batting average, almost 5.5 runs per game. As you can see, they're not hitting the ball out of the ballpark all that well. However, the starters ERA below 4, quality starts at 9 of the 15, and bullpen ERA just outstanding. But last night it was the defense. The gloves were in evidence, and it was all around the field. Avi goes back, takes one away. This one was headed out of the ballpark, but not to be. Great play by Avi. And then Kevin Smith to Lopez, the good pick. Torres is out at the plate. What a play this was, and it turned around the whole ball game. And then Adam Engel, as he's been doing so much of, comes and gets it. This has just been an unbelievable display. And Yolmer on a rocket at 110 miles an hour, throws it across. Stanton not particularly happy with that. But the boys were doing everything right, and they made the Yankees look bad.
I'm going to speculate Yankee fans are not Adam Engel fans after his 2 series defensively against New York. Meantime, you mentioned the quality starts. Lucas Giolito has been very good his last 3.
Lucas has been throwing it very well. Now he's getting the breaking ball over the plate. He's got trust in the changeup. The velocity is up a couple of miles an hour. And last time out against the Tigers, he threw it as well as he could throw it. 7 innings, just 3 hits, 1 earned run. He only walked 1, 10th win of the year. He's 10 and 9. But tonight he's got his work cut out for him. This is a good matchup. Rick Porcello going to the mound for the Red Sox. Now he's having a very good year, but lately he's struggled. 0-2, 6-point ERA over the last couple of starts. Last 3 starts for Lucas, he's been, if not unhittable, pretty good. 19 strikeouts, 4 walks, opponent's batting average of 219. He's getting it done. The team is getting it done. This is exciting, and I am looking forward to this one.
So am I. Sox are trying to take down Boston again because back at Fenway Park, created some vengeance necessary for Boston. Dylan Covey outdueled Chris Sale. The Sox were en route to a series win on the road. See if they can do it again here at home against Boston after this.
NBC Sports Chicago is brought to you in part by Toyota. Tested, trusted, Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. By Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. And by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Miller Lite, hold true.
Just a spectacular day for a game of catch outside Guaranteed Rate Field and inside while we're at it as Boston's in town for the first of a 4-game series. And Lucas Giolito to the hill to face this starting lineup. It's brought to you by the Webb Auto Group by way of the handwriting of first-year manager Alex Cora. Mookie Betts, the young star at the top. Benintendi, the young star, is number 2. Then J.D. Martinez, Bogarts, Nunez, and Holt, Kinsler, Leon, and Jackie Bradley Jr.
The defensive setup for our Sox presented by UI Health, and this is how Ricky Renteria is going to put them out there tonight with Nicky, Adam, and Avisail left to right. The infield, it's Yomer, Tim, Yoan, and Matt Davidson. I see Tim back in the lineup with Kevin Smith getting the nod behind the plate. And our Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher is Lucas Giolito. For his 27th start, he's 10-9. His ERA at 5.85. That's come down a long way. You look at the rest of the numbers, he's starting to pull away in strikeouts over walks. That's a good thing. Right-handers hitting just .231. That's also a good thing. The umpires for the game tonight. Ted Barrett, the crew chief, has the plate. Then it's Will Little at first, Lance Barksdale at second, and Sean Barber is at third. Alex Cora, the first-year skipper of the Red Sox, and he's putting together quite a run. Boston is just an outstanding ball club. They're 50 games over 500 at 92-42. That it sounds like a misprint. It's not. They've been that good. So we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my much-traveled veteran broadcast partner, Jason Benetti.
I was the new guy 2 years ago. Now I'm the veteran broadcast partner.
Much traveled.
Yeah. Reputations change very quickly in this game, evidently. Giolito to Marcus Lynn, Mookie Betts, who takes ball number 1. For a Red Sox team, you thought the Yankees could slug it, right? They were second in Major League Baseball as we left. In slugging percentage, Boston is number 1 at nearly .460 as a team. Two balls, no strikes on Betts, who you could argue is the best player in baseball.
If he's not the best, he's right up there. I mean, he's in the conversation when you talk about the best. Jose Altuve has to be in that conversation. Mookie Betts has been just enchanted the last couple of years. And there's not much that he can't do. And this Red Sox team, there's not much they can't do. They can hit the ball out of the ballpark. They can run exceptionally well. 101 steals have been caught just 26 times. So this is a fast team that can beat the ball.
We saw this team down a couple of guys in Boston, and that's not to take anything away from the White Sox and what they did at Fenway Park, but this Red Sox team, when it hits its stride, as you said, 50 games over, is just about unbeatable.
Mookie Betts was not in the lineup. He makes a huge difference in this team.
He takes a 3-1 strike, so 3-2 from Giolito to Betts as Lucas makes his first career start against Boston, and there is Andrew Benintendi, the young outfielder, on deck.
You just really can't afford to walk any of these guys. There's too much thunder up behind him, and it doesn't matter at what part of the lineup you pick it up.
That's ball 4 high. And Lucas Giolito, predominantly fastball there for Betts. And you take a look at the batting average against each of his pitches. That changeup has gotten appreciably better throughout this year.
Well, you see the last 3 starts, nobody's gotten a hit yet. But in order to make the changeup as effective as it should be, you've got to be able to spot the fastball. If you're not spotting the fastball, they're not going to swing at your changeup just out of the zone. And you got a guy who swiped 26, been caught just 4 times in Mookie Betts, so he's been outstanding running.
Benintendi takes ball number 1, a fastball away to the former Arkansas Razorback, the outfielder who has shown great range when we've seen him, and a great bat to boot.
He's just a good, solid player, and was there right up until the pick before our White Sox had the pick, and the Red Sox took Benintendi.
Ball and a strike from Giolito. And here's where Benintendi likes to hit the ball. Frankly, for a hitter of his caliber, that's a fairly balanced spray chart.
Well, he does and will hit the ball where it's pitched. He's got decent power. It'll probably get better as he gets a couple more years in the game, but it's pretty good now.
Fastball fouled away, 1-2 on Benintendi. The Red Sox, you mentioned Betts with his stolen base potential. They are tied for second in baseball with 101 steals this year. Alex Cora has been very aggressive and has the personnel to do it.
Betts is getting a very good lead at first. In fact, it's about a half step further out. He's ready to run.
Yeah, he is in running position for sure. Giolito, sensing that, throws to first.
Lucas has allowed 22 stolen bases this year. That's the most in the major leagues, so that's part of the game plan of the Red Sox. If you get on, try to run Lucas out of the ballpark.
And if there's a part of the game for Kevin Smith that he'd like to improve, it's his runner control as well. One more throw to first to shorten that lead a little bit.
Betts knows at this point that he can read the move. He's gotten back easily twice. 87%. That's awfully good.
One ball, two strikes. He doesn't run, and another foul ball for Benintendi. 92-42. The Red Sox have to go 14-14 in their final 28 games. That's all they have to do to break the club record for wins in a single season.
They're fully capable of doing that and then some, actually.
Tough to find a 28-game stretch where they even played 500 this year. And they throw to first. Betts is picked off if the Sox can execute. Anderson, Giolito, tag is there, and he's out of the baseline. They're going to call him out of the baseline. When you apply the tag and step outside, that's when the baseline's created. Will Little with the call. Alex Cora will come out to argue, but that is a judgment call by the umpire. Little with the tag placed down, it creates the baseline, and here's the outs.
Well, Alex has come out to complain about this. He can't possibly win it. Lucas goes to tag him. Betts does drift well out of the baseline, and that's exactly what Will Little says. I mean, he says it immediately. So he's out. Alex will go back to the dugout, and that is that. 1-3-6-1.
That's an important play.
It's a huge play. You have their best base stealer, and you take him off base.
Especially in a first inning, which has been difficult for Giolito at points this year. It's been different recently, but at times the first inning's been a tough road for him.
Well, with Betts on base and his speed, and then you have 75 driven in with Benintendi, 111 driven in with Martinez, and 86 with Bogarts, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
That's why the pickoff is so big. Anytime you can take somebody off base without making a pitch to the plate, that's the best that a pitcher can hope for.
Upstairs and foul again. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, back-to-back full counts. That's in there for strike 3. Nifty two-seamer at 96. Absolutely iced him.
Good late movement on this one. We'll take another look. Kevin wants it inside. The ball drifts over the middle of the plate. Benintendi gives up on it, and he is the first strikeout victim. Luke is getting a lot of mileage of that two-seamer that he starts right at the hip of the left-hand hitter. They give up, comes back over the plate.
So J.D. Martinez, the next opposition, trying to push himself toward a triple crown here in 2018. That was a strike. It was a full strike, and it wasn't called a strike.
Well, that's one of the things that Lucas certainly is going to have to pay attention to, because if in fact that is the lower reaches of the zone for Ted Barrett, Lucas is going to have to adjust. I got to believe that'll be called a strike the next time.
Little fister on the middle infield. Anderson back in the lineup. And Lucas faces the minimum after a big pickoff. No score. Rick Porcello against the White Sox after this. Sports, Mitsubishi's, Genesis, and Hyundai's the best price. Go to webcars.com. Yolmer back at the top, then Delmonico and Garcia, Polka, Anderson, Moncada, Davidson, Smith, and Engel, your starting 9.
Defensive setup for the Red Sox presented by UI Health. This is how Alex Cora is going to put them out there. Benintendi, Bradley, and Betts. The infield, Nunez, Bogarts, Kinsler, and Holtz. Sandy Leon behind the plate. And we'll tell you about Rick Porcello in a minute.
That's his name. It's Rick Porcello.
That's it.
That's what you get.
He's tall, he's right-handed. Got a beard.
What a scouting report that was.
Yeah.
I know what to watch for tonight, that's for sure. Watch for the right hand and a beard.
Watch for a lot of sinkers. And when he's right, a lot of ground balls.
Like a lot of sinkers.
Yep. Our Lexus Experience Amazing starting pitcher is the aforementioned Rick Porcello, the bearded Rick Porcello. On for his 28th start, 15-7, ERA just over 4. Many strikeouts as innings pitched, and that's pretty good.
That's a called strike 3 on the inside corner. And one away as we say hello for the first time in a long time to Chuck Garfien. We've been on the road too long, Chuck.
Welcome back to town, guys. And you know, there's the old baseball saying, the dog days of August. The White Sox have been living those dog days. They're in the middle of a stretch where they play 20 straight days without a day off. No batting practice for the White Sox here today. Rick Renteria told the guys, don't even get to the park till 4 o'clock. They're normally here around 1 or 2 or 3. You see how things went yesterday. They both played, the White Sox and Red Sox played in the Northeast. The White Sox Yankees game finished 20 minutes before the Red Sox game against the Marlins finished. They both flew over here. The Red Sox didn't get to their team hotel till 2:15 in the morning. So we'll see if the extra rest that the White Sox got arriving here later will have any bearing on how they play here today.
We got an hour.
A great deal of extra rest our boys got, Chuck. Thank you. And it was really the product of having a much faster plane. I mean, we were able to use a much faster plane. That's how we got here. That's how our game started after theirs, but we got here considerably before theirs.
I actually thought it was the 12 straight hits they had.
That might have been it too. 11 runs in an inning usually will delay things a bit for
I mean, there's jet propulsion, then there's that offensive outburst from yesterday.
That was a big inning.
We were watching the score, and it was It was pretty much like a tote board from a telethon that people just started to give at with great frequency.
But I'll say this was the latest I've ever seen Tim Anderson and Yohan Moncada arrive at the park. It was about 3:30, 4 o'clock. They're normally here at like 1.
It's the old show and go, as they say. Check swing, ball 4. Delmonico gets the benefit of the 2-2, and it's a 1-out walk.
We'll take a look at what he throws. Safe to say he's a sinker slider pitcher. However, four-seam fastball is just about 20%, as you can see. So about half the time he's going to show you that fastball, throw the slider, and change up and curve, not so much. Mix him in when he feels like it.
Rick Porcello, former first-round pick of the Tigers, 2007, out of high school in New Jersey.
One of those things where the Tigers, their draft pick was way down. Porcello told everybody who cared to listen that he was not going to sign a professional contract. He was going to go to college. Very highly recruited, just a wonderful talent. But when the Tigers did draft him, paid him way above at the time, which was commensurate with that spot, he signed, and he's had quite a career. He's done a really nice job of it.
Yes, he has. Rick Porcello, just a couple of years ago, the Cy Young winner in the American League, a .315 earned run average.
133. That's a whole lot of wins for a relatively young man. He started as a very young man.
That was close to the zone as well. It has been a hitter's zone so far tonight.
Well, Ted Barrett is very early establishing his zone. And against Porcello, Avi has established that he can hit him. Porcello's first year, 14-9 in 2009. That was after 1 year of professional baseball, and that was at low A.
His third place rookie of the year that year. Garcia pounds it center field. Brantley at the wall. It is gone! The only catch to be made was by that guy. It's a 2-run homer for Avi Garcia.
Porcello leads the Red Sox in throwing home runs. And Avi didn't wait too long before taking it out. And that's the problem with sinker ballers. Early in the game, they don't sink quite as much. That's a 23rd home run. Rick Porcello's given up our 4th home run replay. It's a knee-high fastball. It doesn't sink very much. And Avi gets most of it, taking it just to the right of center and out of the park for a 2-run lead.
What form by that dude, too. He was waiting for it. He was watching Adam Engel, I think.
He was pretty excited. And the chain.
This one blooped left-hand side. Benintendi, long run. He's not going to get there. Daniel Polka with a teardrop to left field.
That's one of the problems. Not all of the problems, but one of the problems when you make a radical shift is that there's nobody home, in this case, on the left side of the infield. So the only guy there was Nunez. He doesn't have near the speed he used to have, and no chance to get this one. Benintendi was playing deep, as you would expect for Polka. He can't get to it. So a little looping base hit.
A Polk splash into left field, and with the home run by Avi, another generous donation from the Alex Snellius family in loving memory of Ursula. Tim Anderson takes a strike. It's the first time since 1939 that the Sox have played back-to-back series against a team who entered the series winning percentages at least .630 or better, having played at least 50 games. So this late in the season, this is the toughest 2-series stretch the Sox have had since 1939. And they're 2-1.
These are two really good baseball teams, and we saw the Yankees when 3 of their big bombers were out. When they reassemble, they're going to be that much tougher. I don't think they can catch the Red Sox, however.
Changeup from Porcello for the second strikeout of the game for Rick Porcello. 2 out for Moncada. Yohan facing his former team. He came up with Boston a couple of years ago before being traded to the White Sox in the offseason, December of 2016. He is 7 for 27 in his career against the Red Sox. Still looking for that first extra base hit.
Well, make no mistake, this means a lot more for Yohan Moncada against his former team.
We saw Chris Sale back in June, and he reached back for one of the hardest pitches he's ever thrown against Daniel Palka, who's at first base right now. And you could tell that the game meant more to Sale because of the opponent.
Well, he threw the ball exceptionally well. He just got outpitched by Dylan Covey. Dylan Covey beat him 1-0 with a little help from the bullpen, but that was quite a ball game to beat him in Fenway Park.
First base and through. That's a base hit for Moncada. Palka slams on the brakes at second base, and the Sox have their third hit of this first inning.
No chance at all for Holt, who's not a first baseman, that can play every position. This is a breaking ball. It's a slider that really stays up and out over the plate. Yohan drives it into right field. No chance for Holt. Daniel didn't quite know where to look there. He was trying to pick up where Nick Capra was, but he was trying to look behind him to see if he could see the baseball. And in trying to go from one to the other, he lost his footwork and stayed at second base.
Davidson takes ball one. Palka at second base. We were talking about that Sale start, and he reached back and threw 100 miles an hour plus, whatever it was. And Daniel thought, he said this the other day, he said, he looked at Sale like, why me? I wasn't even here when you were here. Why'd you pick me to throw that angry fastball?
Well, he didn't want a lefty, especially a lefty, to show him up.
He's like, I'm new here. You pick me? You got Abreu in the lineup? I wouldn't. 1-0 for Davidson. And a hook for a strike. Boy, a hit would be big here. Any separation you can get with this Boston offense, which can torpedo you quickly, would be a good idea. Their run differential right now is plus 213. That's second to the Astros.
Normally, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that will forever be pretty good.
I would say that you could find yourself pretty high in the standings with a run differential like that. Amazingly enough, the Colorado Rockies have a minus run differential, and they're tied for first place.
How that happens?
I have no idea how it happens, but it has.
Seattle's minus 48. They're 15 games over. But you wouldn't suggest that the standings go by run differential.
No. I like wins personally.
You do?
I'm from the old school. I like wins.
I like team wins.
You too.
Good, we agree.
Yeah.
Nice summit we had here in the first inning. 1-2. Davidson up the middle, and it has enough juice. Palka on his way. He scores. It's 3-0.
That ball was hit off the end of the bat and actually was a cue shot as it went out. Xander Bogaerts looked like he was going to at least able to knock it down. He couldn't have made a play, but it looked like he was going to keep it in the infield. But he dives over the top of it. Polka scores, and it's 3-0. It's the bottom part of the glove. He actually was to the baseball. He just couldn't corral the baseball.
And so the Red Sox will have a meeting at the mound here in a 3-0 score in the first inning as the White Sox continue to ambush the AL East.
It's actually been quite a first and a great way to start it off, coming off a wonderful road trip, and a lead for Lucas Giolito.
Joe McEwing, some base running tips for Daniel Palka.
So a very quick trip to the mound for Dana Levangie. Trying to settle down his very good right-hander.
Third base, Nunez goes low and slings it to second base. However, the White Sox have come out of the gate hot tonight. Avi Garcia deep just right at center. And a 3-0 lead, a souvenir, and some thrills here in the first.
Talk about coincidence. This is Austin right here, who, why don't you turn around? What jersey are you wearing? Yes, Avi Garcia, is he your favorite player?
He is, definitely.
And you happen to catch his home run ball.
Insane coincidence. I became an Avi fan when he made the home run robbing catch here on July 4th, 2-3 years ago. Been my favorite my favorite player since, and this is honestly like incredible.
First baseball you've ever caught?
First baseball I've ever caught.
Oh man, we need to get that signed. What do you think? We think Avi Garcia would sign this for Austin?
I think so.
I think he would go out there in the stands and sign it for him, Archek.
Okay, well, I think you should. He's right over there in right field. Maybe you should walk over there and see if he'll sign it during the game.
Do you think he will?
No, not during the game. No, I'm just trying to give you an idea if it didn't really work out. Anyway, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Jason, Steve, back to you.
How neat is that? And a great setup, Chuck, by the way.
Yeah,
you just set the guy
before you
up.
let the air out of his balloon, Chuck. Nice job.
Chuck's just finding authentic fans out there is what
That
he's
was
doing.
certainly one of them. That guy was really excited, and justifiably so.
How often do you see it? Somebody catches their first ball and they're wearing a jersey of the guy who hit the home run to them.
Pretty
and he gets
amazing.
to show it off.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Awesome.
Would never happen with a Giolito jersey.
So fouled away by Xander Bogaerts. Yeah, Lucas hitting a home run is probably not in the cards, at least nowadays.
Maybe eventually. Could take a while.
I think it was Carlos Rodon the other day was talking about how, hey, he was talking to a couple guys at Yankee Stadium. He was talking about how good he looks as a hitter at the plate. And then he was talking about Giolito and how non-hitterish Lucas looks, I guess you could say, at the plate. But how big does that pickoff look from the first inning as the Sox hand him 3 runs? Betts led it off with a walk, and then Giolito picked him off.
Yeah, by striking out Benintendi and then getting Martinez on a real soft, short pop-up. But you never know how the first inning is going to work if Betts is on and steals second.
Off speed for strike three. Nifty changeup from Giolito, and one gone. As we tell you what else you'll see on our telecast this evening, besides 9 innings of baseball, the White Sox Farm Report. You've heard about Nick Madrigal and his contact. Defensively, great play from yesterday. Christian Yelich in a wacky game for the Brewers, and then your landmark win against the Red Sox.
I honestly didn't know I had a landmark win. But it's nice to see it up there in print.
We're giving tours of it.
It's really great.
Yeah. People in fanny packs are showing up. Authentic fanny packs. One down for Eduardo Nunez. Question for the Red Sox is, when will Rafael Devers be back? He's been on the DL a couple of times now. He's in AAA with Pawtucket right now. And Nunez, you'd imagine, would lose that starting position when Devers came back.
Well, Devers gives him a left-handed bat, which is something that you certainly love to have, especially when you have Betts and Martinez and Bogarts, along with Holt and Kinsler, all hitting from the right side. It's nice to have another left-handed bat. So Devers, who's having a strikeout problem this year, they'd still love to have him back in the lineup. It's at 16 home runs, driven in 55.
3 balls, no strikes on Nunez, as the fastball command has not been as buttoned up so far for Lucas as it has been the last 3 starts.
It'll probably come to him. Sometimes that's happened to him this year, where he just starts to get loose in the 3rd or 4th inning.
$13 balls, 13 strikes. Mentioned about him getting loose in the 3rd or 4th inning. It was the 3rd inning against the Tigers 5 days ago. He started that run of 11 consecutive hitters that he got rid of. He gave up a single in the 1st, a home run and a walk in the 2nd, and then that was pretty much all she wrote for Detroit.
7 innings, he only gave up 3 hits and the 1 run, so it came to him later, and he used it to wonderful advantage.
Foul ball off the press box and then bouncing off a seat back and further down onto the concourse. It was a fun juggling act by the ballpark.
And the ball really never was recovered. What happened was it just went right down the tunnel that leads to the hallowed grounds of Roger Bossard's office.
If Roger's watching on TV,
that's exactly where he can just open up his door, reach out, grab a souvenir, and then, just like Punxsutawney Phil, go back into where he's been hiding.
Does Roger determine now how many weeks of winter we have?
He does.
3-2. Nunez on a ground ball to second base. Moncada gets there for out number 2. Careful. Chuck's going to interview Roger and ask if he's seen his shadow. Your 2018 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate, your trusted teammate throughout the mortgage process. Experience the difference today at rate.com. Thanks for joining us tonight. A little bit of a chill in the air right now.
It's going to get warm again, but this is a prelude to fall. Next couple days should be like this. It's actually really nice coming out of those 97, 98 degree days in New York. This is very pleasant.
We got off the plane last night at, as Chuck documented, around 1:35 in the morning, and it felt a little crisp after air that had a taste in New York City, chewy air.
Well, look, that's the first time in like 5 years I've seen 1:30 in the morning, so I thought that was the way the air always is at that point.
When's your bedtime?
Whenever the 9th inning is over.
Just go right to sleep.
That's it.
2-0. 2 balls and a strike to Brock Holt. Left-handed bat, one of those guys you can put just about anywhere for the Red Sox defensively. They love him in that clubhouse for that versatility. Another nice changeup from Lucas.
That looks like an interesting type of sandwich.
It's a bacon dog.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll go with a dog to start with, but it looks like bacon and cheese on that dog.
On a pretzel roll, too.
Yeah, not bad.
Everybody watch the bouncing ball and then take a bite. That's baseball in a 5-second span, isn't it? Watch the ball, take a bite. Two and two for Brock Holt. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Another changeup and another victim. 3 strikeouts for Lucas. 3-0 Sox.
Moment later in tonight's game.
And we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on WOW in the Chicagoland area. That's an exclamation and evidently a place you can watch baseball. WOW.
Welcome. Wowzers.
Thank you, Inspector Gadget. Adam Engel, the batter. He's down a strike and now 2 as Porcello sinks it to get ahead.
That's more like the sinker that we've seen from Rick Porcello a couple of years ago when he went 22-4.
Strike 3 to the corner. So the White Sox this year have gone on the road against the top 2 teams in the American League East and 2 of the top teams in baseball and 1 series at their ballparks.
I think it's safe to say at least probably after a third of the season the Sox played much better baseball against the better teams. Now that takes out of the equation the Yankees coming here to Guaranteed Rate Field. That was not a particularly good series. The Yankees were pretty tough in that one. But most of the time, the better teams bring out the best in our Sox.
To left field, Sanchez on base for the 18th consecutive game.
And how often do you see a guy whose night it is for his T-shirt, and it's a beautiful T-shirt, by the way, get on base for the 18th straight game? We'll take another look. This one stays up. Looked like Porcello tried to cut it in on his hands and couldn't quite get it there. As Yolmer takes it opposite way. Salute to Noah. And a very nice hot streak for Yolmer.
Career-long on-base streak for Sanchez continues, and he's done it from 1 in the lineup down to 9 in the lineup. Nicky takes ball number 1.
You guys were talking about some of the road series victories that they've had this year, and you got to ask the question, have the Sox entered another phase of the rebuild? And what I mean by that is they started this season 30-61, and Rick Renteria said before the year that 2018 could be the toughest part of the rebuild, and I'm wondering if maybe they're past that tough part, because their last 42 games they have a winning record. They're 23-19, and a lot of it has to do with the starting pitching. July the 11th, that was when this streak of 42 games began. The Sox beat St. Louis here 4-0. Carlos Rodon through 7 1/3 scoreless. Giolito around that time started pitching better. They added Kopech, so here we are. It's a different team. They had that great series against the Yankees, and they're off to a nice start here against the Red Sox, who clearly are the class of the majors this year.
Well, Steve, I mean, you very intimately know the value of good starting pitching, and you add Rodon and you add Kopech, and you see the improvement from Giolito, and you just have a better shot to win every night, right?
Well, there's a couple of different things that come into play, and this is something that is not thought of a great deal. When you have better pitchers, guys don't hit the ball as hard. Better pitchers will make good hitters look not quite as good. So if you have pitchers that are getting hit consistently and the exit velocities are up, and I'm talking about ground balls, I'm talking about the distance of home runs, because that is the fallacy of exit velocity, is the distance of home runs.
You're talking about when the defense is pressed into action.
Right. A pitcher doesn't care if a ball goes 430 or 450. It's a home run. What difference does it make? What he cares about is a ball shooting through the infield. So if your starting pitching is better, which means the hitters are not hitting it on the nose all the time, you're going to make better plays.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that we've seen, and this really jumps out at all of us, is the Sox are playing better defense. I don't think it's a coincidence for the team to be playing better defense as the pitching has gotten better. The starting pitching has gotten better. The defense has gotten better with it at the same time.
Nicky in the air, left center field. Bradley's not going to get there. Benintendi has to play it on a hop, and Sanchez parks himself at third. Delmonico to second with 1 out.
Porcello's having a hard time sinking his best pitch. And our Sox are hitting the ball pretty hard. This one was down, but it didn't sink. Nicky able to split the gap. By the time Benintendi gets there, he's in at second base. So a chance to score a few more with Avi coming up,
Who pasted a ball last time, and now Nicky starting to groove. Another good sign as he's getting healthy. But as you're talking about that defense, what registers in my mind is how alert defenses are when pitchers are throwing strikes.
Well, it's a combination of throwing strikes and working fairly quickly. You're going to see good defenses behind guys that take a long time to deliver the baseball, but they're not going to be as on their toes. If you get a guy who gets it and throws it, it keeps the defense on their toes. If they are consistently anticipating contact, they're going to make better plays. That's just the way it's always been. That's the way it always will be.
And so when you look at the last time through the rotation for the Sox, the last turn for each pitcher as Reynaldo Lopez sits and watches, 1.93 ERA, opponents average 1.83, and some of those 50-50 balls have been going the Sox way again, and more than 50-50.
Last time through the rotation, pretty stout numbers. 21 hits and 32 2/3.
Avi swings and tips it foul, 1-2. Big couple of runs on the old trail here is Carlos Rodon. We've said it before, but his maturity level, his ability to pitch through traffic has improved this year.
I mean, this is a guy that is going to help lead your staff from the top of the rotation. Whether it's 1 or 2, it won't matter. The first time through the rotation is the only time it does really matter. But he's going to be one of the guys to lead it. And we're seeing, as well as the physical maturation of him, we're seeing the emotional and psychological maturation of a guy who's going to be a terrific pitcher. I really believe there's only one thing that can stop him, and that's the thing that can stop every pitcher, and that's injuries. If he remains uninjured, the sky's the limit as to his ability and what he can accomplish in this game.
Well, the fun thing is he's been hurt, right? I mean, he's been hurt, and he still has the stuff.
Yeah.
Avi corks it left of center. Bradley is on the case. Yolmer tags from third, throw into third is an out. The run does score. That will count. So Nicky out at third. The Sox do get the run on the timing play this time. But the inning comes to an end. Now that is reviewable by the Red Sox, but it did look like the run came home.
Nick Capra believes that he's safe at third. That's why he's still standing there. The run is going to score. He does score. There's no doubt about that. But what Nick is saying is the right hand got in before the tag on the chest.
And the Sox will challenge it.
Yes, they're going to challenge it.
Okay, so let me explain to you as we take a look at this replay. Let me explain to you. When we were in New York, I got a tour of the replay facility that Major League Baseball has. So when they're talking in New York, so you know, there are multiple umpires who are replay officials for that series. A couple umpiring crews go there every week. There are multiple officials sitting at these stations. There's a replay operator who kind of jogs the replays back and forth. He's the one picking what looks the umpire gets to see. Now, it's not just one umpire necessarily looking at this replay. If you think it's just one guy, that's not true. There is one umpire in charge of making the call, but generally when the alarm goes off that there is a challenge, a couple of umpires come over and take a look and try to help one another out, and this looks like it's going to be overturned.
Yeah,
to be safe.
He's going to be safe at third, but from the thought process standpoint, just to interrupt you for just one second. From the thought process standpoint, Nicky's not as fast as Yolmer. So take a couple of steps. You don't really want to be running on this one, because if you're tagged out before Yolmer scores, which we've seen already this year from our Sox.
That was Yolmer involved.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things where if you're not as fast as the lead runner, you have to be careful. So he is safe at third. That we could see from the replay. Good call by Nick Capra, because as soon as the tag was on, he looked in at Ricky and said, review it.
Now Alex Cora is going to come out to chat with Porcello. But my takeaway from the tour of the replay facility is it's not just like one person in there making the decision. It's not just some clandestine operation. They do significant training in the offseason. I was really impressed with how much technology they have. They can go about 4 times zoom in to take a look. They have data that they pull in from every ballpark to try to tell them what the best camera angle to go to in a specific ballpark for a specific play is. So I imagine that as replay continues on and they gather more information, they are going to get more and more accurate there in New York. And the thing they reminded me on the way out is the key to replay is the standard. Is that it should be a high standard to overturn the call, and that's what we talk about when we talk about the call on the field. But that's their resting point.
No, and they're going to get much better at it, because it's really in the infancy stages of what it will be, and they're going to get better and better. The technology will be better. And so, I mean, for the people who say, well, it holds up the game, they are getting quicker at it.
They have a clock in the facility that they want to get every play under 2 minutes on their clock. So there's an effort by Major League Baseball to get quicker and quicker, as you said, and they have a constant reminder in that replay facility. So a tip of the cap to the folks there. I know we've gotten mad at them before in Tampa, and I told them I still think they got the call wrong with Sanchez at Tropicana Field. They said they'll look at it again and check and see. Very nice. Somebody gives you a tour, and as you walk away, you say,
yeah, by the way, you guys were awful on that one call.
Terrible in early August.
Go back and look at that.
2 balls and 2 strikes, but thanks for the tour. 2-2 on Palka. Delmonico at third, 2 out. Nicky's gotten rather dirty tonight. Inside breaking ball, 3-2.
Nice stop by Leone as that ball dug down and in. Tim Anderson waiting to see if Daniel can keep it alive.
Daniel in the air right field. He hit some regal foul balls. Daniel Palka.
Like the bat did not survive that one.
It fought hard. Celebrate the legendary career of Hawk Harrelson as we honor him Sunday. It's September 2nd, the finale with the Red Sox, 1:10 p.m. Coca-Cola Family Sunday pricing. Tickets as low as $5. Parking only $10. Plus the first 10,000 fans take home a Hawk Harrelson nesting doll depicting him throughout his career. Get your tickets at whitesox.com today. Hawk will be beside himself. Literally.
A couple times.
Dolls.
That was a changeup, and Daniel was able to fight it off.
50 pitches for Rick Porcello in front of a Red Sox bullpen that has not been as good as it was earlier this year. Rather leaky recently. Upstairs fastball, good placement for strike 3, but the Sox grab another on the Avi Garcia fly ball.
Versus the Red Sox game tomorrow for a chance to win free tickets to an upcoming game. Learn more at NBCSportsChicago.com/free ticket Friday.
Why wouldn't you want to win free tickets?
I would love to win free tickets.
Yeah. Ian Kinsler, Sandy Leon, Jackie Bradley Jr. to come up against Lucas Giolito, who struck out 3, walked 1, and nothing else. First ball, fastball, strike 1.
That is the first pitch strike Lucas has thrown, yet he has wended his way seamlessly through the first 2.
Third base, Yolmer Sanchez at the boundary with a magnum for out number 1. It is very rare that you throw 6 straight first pitch balls and you don't give up a hit.
Nope. Just the 1 walk, and Betts was picked off and then run down.
After a 1-ball, no strike count, Major League Baseball is hitting .264, which is pretty good.
That is good.
2-0 count, .279, and the on-base percentage, .483. You get on half the time when you're 2-0. That's a strike.
They own a switch hitter, and he's a good defender. Hasn't done a great deal offensively. 200 as a left-hand hitter, 193 as a right-hand hitter.
two-seam fastball's got a lot of run tonight.
The last few games, we've seen the same thing out of that two-seamer. And whether it's starting inside and then grabbing the corner, or starting in the middle of the plate and shaving off the outside corner, the movement has been good.
Ball and 2 strikes. Went with it again upstairs. Looks like he's just having fun with that pitch right now, swinging it back over the plate. If you like it, why not throw it, right?
Especially if you have the command that he has of it. So they're shifting a bit, not quite as radical as we've seen on a whole lot of people.
Right field side and foul. You know, Lucas Giolito has been heavy on the two-seam fastball here in the 3rd inning, but early in this game we've seen a couple lethal changeups. Speaking to that last 3 starts, no hits against that pitch.
No, and that's gotten better and better as the years moved along, because at the beginning he had no feel for the curve, no feel really for the slider, and the straight change almost was non-existent. And as the year has moved along, that changeup has become his second best weapon.
You would think, based on the at-bats the Red Sox have put together, that they see just about as many pitches as anybody in baseball. However, they're actually about middle of the pack. Boston 3.89 pitches per plate appearance. Well, that is a nasty breaking ball. It snapped down into the dirt for strike 3. My goodness.
Well, right now Lucas has been dominating major league hitters probably over the last 5, 6, 7 starts. But if this one comes around, not too many people are going to hit him, because that is an exceptional curveball. He just doesn't have quite the confidence in it, and if you can bury it, there's very few guys going to be able to check their swing. They're not going to make contact on it, but very few will be able to check it up.
Would you say that's a contender for one of the best curveballs he's thrown all year?
Yeah, that was just a wonderful curveball. Anytime it leaves a pitcher's hand and you can actually see it around belt high and it dives into the dirt, you're getting a tremendous amount of rotation on it, and the curveball is a rotation pitch, not a velocity pitch.
It's about spin.
It's about all the spin you can impart on it. Yes.
Ball and a strike for Jackie Bradley Jr. He waited and waited, and at 93, the two-seamer got him anyway. Tried it again, and that one was a little bit shorter of the plate. 2-2.
He wants to go to a straight change here. Probably a good pitch against Bradley, who was fanned 114 times. So he's probably on pace. He's probably going to strike out 130, 135 times. And it's largely because of off-speed pitches. And here is a straight change. Let's see if he gets it.
On 2-2. He struck him out. You know, they're called secondary pitches. However, when they look this good, they're primary. Sorcery from Lucas Giolito. Curveball on the sand. Changeup mystifying Bradley. Say, show me the Chicago White Sox. Into your X1 voice remote and get live team stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Jersey's finest, Rick Porcello against Tim Anderson, who pushes it through the right side. A leadoff single on the Sox with yet another hit. That's number 7.
They're moving the ball around, and that time Tim took an inside fastball with an inside-out swing, went to right field very effectively with it.
So here's Yoan Moncada, who's got now his 8th hit against the Red Sox in his career. That's 8 for 28 against his former team. High breaking ball to start him off. Red Sox came into tonight up 7.5 on the Yankees, who have just tied the game with Detroit. They'll go to the 6th, even at 5. That was in the zone and called ball 2, so it's been a small strike zone tonight from Ted Barrett consistently both ways.
Yeah, I mean, he's calling him the same way for both teams, so he's not going to get any arguments, or not many anyway.
It's downstairs. 3 balls, no strikes on Moncada. It's an off day, at least in a couple places around baseball, although there was some day baseball too, with the Brewers winning in extras once again over Cincinnati 2-1. Joakim Soria, his first Brewers win.
I'd like to see the 3-0 green light here.
Didn't pull the trigger.
Now he's right down the middle anyway, but obviously either didn't have it or didn't want that pitch. It's a good pitch to run for Tim.
Three balls and a strike. Tim holds. Moncada swings through it.
He got the breaking ball, but couldn't do anything with it.
Here's Matt Davidson, who singled up the middle to drive in the 3rd run of the 1st inning. Anderson at first. He runs. Moncada fouls it away. Porcello is not paying Tim much mind over there.
Well, a couple of different things might come into play. Number one, scouting report said that he's coming back off an ankle injury. They might not be thinking that he's going to run, but running on 3-2 would have put that to rest.
As the lead expands, the stolen base probability does as well. There he goes. It's ball 4. 2 on, nobody out for the White Sox here in the 3rd. So Porcello walks his 2nd. He has allowed 9 base runners through 15 hitters. That'll whip your whip.
That'll certainly get you up there.
Pitch number 60 forthcoming from the former Cy Young winner Rick Porcello from a couple of years ago. It's 2016. Porcello won the Cy Young, a 3.15 ERA. He completed 3 games that year and gave up just over a base runner per inning. Felix Hernandez 2010 with the Mariners. David Price, who's now a teammate of Porcello's, and Corey Kluber twice this decade.
The Felix Hernandez Cy might be something to bear in mind because strike 3 looking, but the reason is that it wasn't an overwhelming wins versus losses that year. I think it was in the neighborhood like 13, 12, something along those lines.
Yeah.
And the ERA was way down there. The numbers were spectacular. It's a lot like Jacob deGrom. I mean, that's why I bring up Felix Hernandez that particular year, because deGrom is having one of those years this year where he's not winning any games. The Mets won't score him any runs, and yet he's giving up nothing. I mean, he's been overwhelming this season.
Felix Hernandez that year. There's a ground ball. We're going to have to finish this conversation later, I think. Bogarts and Kinsler around to hold for the double play. We'll put that on hold for the moment. More to come about Cy Young winners after this.
Nice. In itself, it's a wonderful prize. But you open it up, and what do you have? An old used pen of mine that has no more ink in it. So, I mean, that's a tremendous value. You want to use it?
You said it has no more ink in it.
Just want to know if you'd like to take a chance.
Yeah.
Maybe mysteriously, ink will appear.
Yeah, I'm willing to take chances, but not that one. As there's strike one from Giolito to Mookie Betts, the only base runners so far. For the Red Sox, we actually do have things that you might want on the prize shelf as well, other than Steve's old used writing implements. Lucas has just been awesome so far. 5 strikeouts and 1 base runner. He's faced the minimum, and Betts was picked off after that 6-pitch walk in the first. Upstairs, 1 and 2.
Let's take a look at the high-speed action powered by Xfinity, and it is the aforementioned pickoff. Betts was going, but Lucas hadn't delivered the ball. And then they run him down 1-3-6-1, and then he's called out of the baseline.
Breaking ball, check swing roller. Davidson says stay there, Lucas. And 1 gone in this, the 4th inning of baseball tonight. This White Sox team right now is playing a fun brand of baseball. You know that?
They really are. They're playing well. The defense is good. The starting pitching has been very good. Actually, the Pensman, that ERA is around 2.7 during this 15-game streak where the Sox are 11-4. Playing by far their best baseball of the year. And you can see it's a little chillier here tonight than it was in New York.
Yeah, it is. Left field side, Benintendi. Delmonico's area into foul territory for out number 2. And here's your Sox math question for tonight. Hashtag Sox math. First correct answer wins a prize off the prize shelf or something old from Steve's pocket. Take the number of consecutive road series the Sox have won. Multiply the number of games the Sox won in Detroit. Subtract the number of games the Sox won in New York in the last series. And then add the roster limit for the Sox starting on Saturday. So as you look at consecutive road series, realize that even a one-game situation is a road series for the terms of that question. I have a big-time Sox math update for you. I ran into a young lady down on the concourse. Her name is Mrs. DeGros. She's a junior high teacher in Markham. And she walked by me on the concourse and she said, I have to tell you that I'm a math teacher and that I use Sox math as part of my curriculum.
Wow, is she going to keep her job?
To which I suggested that maybe she look into a textbook or something. But that's pretty neat, huh?
That's
the
very
Sox
neat.
in the classroom.
Very nice.
Don't try and get her fired.
No, I think she's a delightful teacher. But yeah, I think one of those textbook might work out well.
Check in the fourth inning for the lesson plan for tomorrow, kids. 2 balls and a strike on Martinez. There's a really nice changeup, 2-2.
Well, he had a very good hitter fooled. You have a guy that's in line for a triple crown. Not that guy. Guy hitting.
He's in line for a triple cone. 2-2. Upstairs, strike 3. Change up, fastball, cold water, hot water. See you later, 4-0.
In town. Well, it's rhetorical. Baseball night in Chicago presented by Chick-fil-A. Join Ozzie Guillen, David DeJesus, Layla Rahimi, and a cast of thousands as they break down the biggest stories surrounding the Sox and Cubs. That's Baseball night in Chicago tomorrow night at 6:30 on NBC Sports Chicago.
Got to be faster on those.
I like to stretch it out with a couple ad libs, some other good stuff.
1 ball, 1 strike to Adam Engel, who struck out in the second inning. Thanks for joining us tonight, wherever you might be. Whether you're at a barbecue, whether you're at home on your couch, whether you're at game night, whether you're at the old watering hole. We thank you for stopping by.
Yep.
Ball and 2 strikes for Engel. Rick Porcello's given up 7 White Sox hits so far through 3 innings. Pitch number 65 is in the dirt. Sox starting rotation, we talked about it earlier. You've got James Shields, who's 36 years old. Then the next oldest in this rotation is Carlos Rodon at 25. Xander Bogaerts throws Engel out. One gone. Here's your Sox Math winner for tonight. It is Jay Lazowski, 14 with the victory. 5 straight road series for the Sox in a win column. 3 games won in Detroit. 5 times 3 is 15 minus 2 wins in New York. That's 13 plus 40. The 40-man roster limit starts on Saturday. 53 is your answer. In honor of Melky, Jay Lazowski, 14, your winner. That 40-man roster situation leads to a spot where some teams in contention will have significantly more players in the clubhouse than other teams at points.
Yeah, I mean, that's the option of whatever team is trying to get there. A lot of teams don't want to bring up a whole lot of people, thinking that, look, we got here a certain way, we're going to get there the rest of the way. However, it helps to have a couple of different things when you start calling up people if you are in contention.
Left field, Benintendi can't get there. Sanchez plunks it down and then squeals the brakes around first. It's a one-out single.
Nice play in left field by Andrew Benintendi, because that looked like it was going to be a 2-base hit. And Yolmer thought about a 2-base hit before having to put on the brakes as Benintendi got it back in very accurately, got to the ball quickly. Nice solid job of defense and getting it right back there in time to hold Yolmer at first base. He's thinking 2 bases, hustled until he saw that the throw was a good one.
Runaway Yolmer.
Yolmer with a couple of hits tonight continues to sting the baseball.
Nicky first pitch hunting. Jackie Bradley Jr. for round number 2. You were talking about the 40-man roster.
Yeah, the things that teams are looking for, or teams that are in contention might want, is 1 or 2 guys who can run. In other words, late in the game, you want to have a guy that you can put in as a pinch runner that might turn a game around. Ideally, you'd like to have another catcher. You'd like to bring up 1 more catcher, because there are times, and during the course of the season, before the rosters expand, most teams go with 2 catchers. It's a luxury to have the 3rd catcher, and with the expansion of the rosters, you can do that. So get a guy or 2 with some speed, maybe another catcher, and then most teams are looking for 1 bullpen arm or so. And that's probably where you're going to look to add to your team, because if you're good enough to get in contention, you're not going to play a whole lot of young guys as we move into the month of September, but you want to augment what you already have.
But as you said earlier, you have this very delicate balance in your clubhouse that got you to where you are. You add personalities and it's just going to change people.
It does a little bit, but for contending teams, they have their requisite amount of stars, and they have their guys that are role players, and they have the guys who help them get there. But with the amount of injuries we've seen this year around baseball, you're using a whole lot of different people in that clubhouse during the course of the year anyway.
Another thing in baseball that's difficult to measure until you have it happen is how much clubhouse chemistry can be affected. And the numbers suggest it's negligible when you bring somebody up who's not a major factor and they kind of just go do their own thing. And
I think we're going to see a change in baseball, in the rule. And my feeling is that, look, you got a 40-man roster. You want to bring them to the major leagues, that's great. But this is the only sport where you can play with more guys on your team a month of the season than you did the other 5 months. To me, bring up as many people as you want, but on a daily basis, make 25 eligible.
I'm with you.
I mean, if you have a 25-man roster, all season long, make 25 eligible on any given night.
Well, hockey does it with scratches. I mean, you always get to a certain number, and you have a flexible couple of places on your roster.
And I think, to me, that's what makes sense. The whole idea of some team bringing up 6 or 7 guys,
a horde in the bullpen.
Now they're playing you with 32 guys instead of 25. Doesn't make much sense to me.
Sanchez runs. Avi takes strike 3, a fastball. basically down the center. To the 5th we go. White Sox by 4. Lucas Giolito, 6 strikeouts through 4 innings, and they've looked quite different from one another.
Well, he's been using each and every one of his pitches to get there. The curveball, the high fastball. The straight change has been terrific, and so he's facing the minimum. That's with the pickoff after the walk of Betts to lead off the ball game, but spotless through 4.
He'll face Xander Bogaerts first in the 5th inning. First one spotted there for a strike. So Lucas through that inning had 8 swinging strikes, 4 on the changeup, 3 on the fastball, 1 on the curveball, that filthy looking thing he threw to Sandy Leon. That was a pretty decent one too in terms of snap. It was not a strike certainly. Only 5 balls in play through 4 innings for Lucas. Change up, and he did not know whether it was fastball or change up.
No, that's been the beauty of that pitch tonight, because they're not able to pick it up at all. There's not been one Red Sox hitter that's been on that changeup. So it's gotten better and better with each and every start, but tonight it's as good as it's been all year.
One, 2 on the ground, foul of 3rd. Just uncomfortable swing after uncomfortable swing in the first 4 innings here.
That's the one pitch that can make or break a career for you if you have a good one.
Change up.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a good one and you can keep the feel of it, you're going to be very effective. If you lose that pitch, then it becomes more difficult. You have to fill in with other pitches.
Ball and 2 strikes on Xander Bogaerts for a Red Sox team that leads baseball in a lot of categories offensively, and they have been silent so far tonight. 1-2, just clipped foul. Xander Bogaerts, career .283 hitter, career OPS .767. He is well north of that this year with 39 doubles so far in 2018.
That's pretty good.
That's a big old number.
It's a big old number is right.
Breaking ball wrapped to 3rd. Sanchez at the chalk. Whoa.
Yolmer never really got a grip on that one, and it's got a very good chance of going as a base hit, although a lot of guys in a no-hitter will not give that a base hit. Yolmer realized with the speed of Bogarts that he had to pour it across, and it's in this rushing that he lost feel for the ball.
Tom Goodwin had to run out of the way.
Yep. Goes E5.
Now, Tom Goodwin could play center field.
Yes,
He could track down a ball. That time he wanted no part of the ball.
Well, he didn't have a glove.
That is a nice implement to have. There is a back-wrenching changeup for strike one. Bogarts at first. Ball with a strike. Xander Bogarts' best running season was last year. He was 15 for 16 in stolen bases, but that's declined substantially this year.
Just 5 steals overall, but you have a man at bat who's grounded in 16 double plays in Nunez.
On the ground, won't get 2 out of this. Sanchez on target this time. Bogarts to second base, and now to Chuck Garfien for a pretty neat thing the Sox are doing.
Yes, they are, Jason. The White Sox are holding a very special online charity auction for Jerry Remy, the Red Sox broadcaster who's on medical leave as he battles lung cancer. You can go to whitesox.com/auction. You can bid on items through Sunday at 7 p.m. They've got autographed memorabilia of A.J. Brzezinski, Fisk, Sale, guys who played for the White Sox and the Red Sox, signed memorabilia, and a good portion of the proceeds goes to the Jimmy Fund.
Cool thing that the Sox are part of here. White Sox Charities always does such a wonderful job. And by the way, on Hawk Day on Sunday, there's going to be a special Sox split jackpot as well that we've been told about.
Yeah, you might want to get involved in that because it's a minimum of $20,000. So you win that one, you enjoy Hawk Harrelson Day, but you also get a chance to take home some bucks.
So if you would like some memorabilia, whitesox.com/auction. If you'd like just to try and win some cash, whitesox.com/Sox split. Couple of choices for you as you take in a ball game. With that Sox split raffle, by the way, you have to have an Illinois billing address in order to play.
Yes.
Brock Holt swings through strike 3, a 2-seamer at 92. Strikeout number 7.
We'll take another look. Good movement. That ball not only running but sinking. That's been really one of the keys to Lucas Giolito is movement of that fastball. If he's throwing a 4-seamer, he's got a little late life. If he's throwing that 2-seamer, it's got both run and sink to it. Tough combination to deal with.
There was one inning, it was a 3rd inning, I think, where he just threw 2-seamer after 2-seamer after 2-seamer. And now Ian Kinsler, former Tigers second baseman and Angel, takes a strike. So first pitch strikes have been the norm for Giolito after the first 6 batters didn't see one. Most of the next 10 batters, I've got 9 of the next 10 seeing first pitch strikes.
Things getting a whole lot better, and got a whole lot of guys watching this one from Owl Ear in Scottsdale, guys I spend the winter with. Everybody's named Mike. It's a club they have down there. They got Cheap Mike, Big Mike, Little Mike, and Delusional Mike, who happens to be a Red Sox fan. He's looking on also.
Unironically, Delusional Mike.
Yeah.
0-2. Breaks outside. Kevin knocks it down. Bogarts at second after the error on Sanchez. First base runner for Boston since the leadoff batter in this game. Based on his reaction, I think Lucas was surprised at how uncompetitive that last breaking ball he threw was. See where he goes here. Fouled away. It was a changeup.
That was a straight change, and Kinsler had a good swing at that. He did not bring his hands forward. He waited back. Fortunately, hitting it foul, but he made good contact. That's as good a contact on that change that they've had all night.
So after you see that, where do you go?
Face high fastball. He loves fastballs. He'll probably swing through it if it's upstairs out of the zone.
Ball and 2 strikes for Kinsler. He got a piece. That's where they went. Double him up.
Yes, but that was out a way where he could actually get the bat on it. I'd like to see it a little bit more toward the inside part of the plate. Same height.
One, two. That was a breaking ball in the dirt.
Lucas turned away from that. Wasn't happy with the result of that one. I think he was a little frustrated because he felt that was the pitch where he wanted to get him and wasn't able to do it as he lost command of that one.
Bogarts at second. 2 down. 5th inning. Two and 2. Curveball yanked foul. Ian Kinsler proving to be difficult. Ian Kinsler's had some very productive offensive seasons for the Tigers and the Rangers. Now over here from the Angels to Boston. Line to left field. First hit for the Red Sox, and they won't get a run out of it. Xander Bogaerts to third. It took 4 2/3, but Boston has a hit for the first time tonight. And Lucas gets a nice round of applause from the Sox fans.
Yeah, the difference with that one is that was a fastball. Kinsler can handle those, especially when they're down. And that ball was down where he got a good piece of it and drilled it into left field. So 7 strikeouts, just that 1 walk to start the game, and 1 base hit. We'll watch it again. You see the difference? Kevin Smith wanted this inside, and Lucas missed his spot by a bit. Cost him a base hit, but nicely played by Nicky. Got it back in, leaving runners at the corners, and Red Sox still off the scoreboard.
Sandy Leon, who had a long at bat last time, goes after a first pitch changeup with a meat cleaver.
To his eye, it identified as fastball. That's why the real uncomfortable swing.
When you see an awkward swing like that, the tendency is to say, what could he have been looking at? We suggest maybe you flip that and you say, wow, that pitcher must have done something real bad to that guy.
Well, I mean, he can look at it, but he's seeing something different than what arrives at the plate. His eye identified fastball, and it was a straight change.
Bogarts at third, Kinsler at first. That's upstairs. Fastball at 92, 1 2. Another changeup.
Well, Leon is a catcher. He might be thinking, double me up with that high fastball. I'd use the change.
Especially after that early swing.
He's going to get the high fastball here. There's certainly one inside.
And it hit him. Or did it? Yes, it did, says Ted Barrett. It took him a while.
Well, it's really funny because he showed him his glove, and I'm wondering what on the glove could determine getting hit. You're not going to see a welt or a bruise, not with the tape and the glove. Looked like it might have hit the hand, but also probably hit the knob of the bat, maybe simultaneously.
So bases loaded, 2 out. Don Cooper meanders out to the mound. So look, you figure the Red Sox aren't going to get shut out a whole lot. This offense is too powerful, though the Sox did it earlier this year. Dylan Covey on the mound. Time now for Lowe's whole team together, and it is every category the Red Sox lead in offensively. Runs, batting average, doubles, extra base hits, slugging percentage, OPS.
And with all of those very impressive numbers, they've been shut out 5 times.
Which actually is a pretty large number. 42 losses, 5 are shutouts.
Yeah. Well, it's a good team, a very good team. But there is no team that's not susceptible to a great pitching performance.
Jackie Bradley Jr., who struck out in the 3rd, takes strike 1.
The bases loaded this year has not been pretty for Bradley Jr.
He's been on quite the hot streak with 9 multi-hit games in his last 16, swinging it very well. Ooh, that was a strike, and it hasn't been there all day for either pitcher.
No, we've talked about it, and Ted Barrett started out not calling that, and here we are in the 5th inning, and he's still not calling it. Yet that's really the only place for that straight change. You're not going to try to throw it upstairs.
No, it goes a long way. First base, Davidson holds the line. And Matt Davidson not only can hit and pitch, but he can play goalkeeper as well. Davidson holds the line on the shutout for Lucas. Layla, thank you so much. Always great to chat with you.
It's wonderful to hear from you, Layla. Yes.
Didn't sound canned at all. Paulka Anderson Moncada to bat here in the 5th inning. Thanks for joining us tonight, wherever you might be. Sox defense was a little hazy in the top of the 5th inning, but Davidson got in front of the hard hit ball by Jackie Bradley Jr. to close the inning out, and still a shutout at 4-zip.
You're up 4, but it's not a comfortable lead because these Red Sox can put some runs up and they can do it quickly. So you'd love to add to it if you could. After a very shaky start, Porcello's had a couple of innings where they've been scoreless, if not spotless.
Still has yet to have that 1-2-3 inning for the first time tonight. He gave up a single to Sanchez in the fourth, single to Anderson in the third, and the carnage of the first and second innings. Wow, that was an ugly looking pitch that nearly was strike three. You have no choice as a lefty to give up on that thing.
Up and in, but it was out of the zone.
And then he comes back with the changeup for strike three. So Porcello has struck out 7 tonight. Join the White Sox Volunteer Corps and Huntington Bank as they team up on September 11th for some hands-on improvement work at the Primo Center Shelter for Women and Children in Englewood. For more information and to sign up to volunteer, visit whitesox.com/volunteercorps. Always looking for new volunteers. Hope you can jump in and do a little good. Tim 1 for 2. It's good to see his better half, Bria, on the road trip, visiting New York, as many of the players' wives did.
I would say a lot of guys decide to bring their wives and just enjoy the city.
To shortstop, Bogarts against Anderson, and he drops it in. No, not in time. Thought Will Little was going to punch him out, but Tim did his 767 routine, flying by first, and he is safe.
Well, Bogarts didn't have a lot of time to plant. So on the run, he had to float it over there. Didn't get quite as much on it as he would have liked.
Oh, he's out.
He is out, and they're going to take a look at it. Nestled in the glove just before the foot got down on the bag, it appears.
Normally, when an umpire hesitates, he's loading up the punch out to call the out, and that's what happened there. Will Little was a little bit indecisive, and this is going to be out number 2. But another thing I learned at the replay facility in New York is we had been talking about the pocket of the glove being the touchstone for the reception of the ball. It's actually any place the ball touches the interior of the glove. So it's the first contact of the ball into the glove that the replay official is looking for to make his decision on a play like this. And with that said, I think it makes it even more clear that Anderson is out here.
It's very close at first. The ball is now in the glove, and the foot is not on the bag.
It is out number 2. New York gets it right, and base is clear with 2 down for Yoan Moncada. Yoan takes a breaking ball, ball 1. Moncada 1 for 1, a single and a walk so far tonight. He's been finding himself in more favorable counts recently, and that's a good sign.
Especially if you're really right on a fastball. He's going to probably get one here.
Oh boy, the changeup surprise.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Then the fastball upstairs, 2-2. Red Sox come into this game 7.5 ahead of the Yankees in the American League East. New York tied at 5 in the home 7th.
Just taking the lead. Well, yours is terribly slow. It's an outdated model.
And wouldn't you know, having both owned one and dated one in the past. 4-0 White Sox after 5. Lucas is coming back after this. Entering tonight, Ryan Cordell had an 8-game hit streak. 2 for 4 yesterday, a solo home run over the wall in left field. And Nick Madrigal, first-round pick this year, he could play second and shortstop, but we didn't expect it to happen both on the same play, as he did right there.
That was off the pitcher's glove, too, so that was quite a play.
Good to see Ryan Cordell starting to hit after the early injury this year. That is an interesting look. No need to put out any fires for the Red Sox offense so far tonight, really. Oh, Betts sold that ball too very well. Two-1 from Lucas, and he misses down and away. 3 balls and a strike. That's the only walk tonight.
Third time through the order, and you certainly don't want to lead it off with a walk.
(3-1) hit in the air, back of home, and this finds its way to the seats.
We told you in leaving New York that Stanton was starting to feel pretty good about that swing. He did hit his 300th home run tonight. Has a double to go with it, so he's driven in a pair. And number 300 is now history for Giancarlo Stanton.
He's going to sleep a lot better tonight.
He's going to keep hitting home runs for a while.
First base side out of play. Long homestand here for the White Sox. A lot coming up on this homestand, including Hawk Day on Sunday. That's Brian Johnson versus James Shields. Evaldi and Kopech tomorrow night, 7:10 start time. And then Saturday, a 6:10 game here at Guaranteed Rate Field. Your second chance tomorrow to see Michael Kopech here at Guaranteed Rate Field.
That's going to be very exciting against the team that traded him away. He gets his 3rd start in the Sox union.
Betts, such a talented hitter, plunks it down and left. Time now to quiz Steve on his own career. It's a landmark. That is the subject of the question we found out earlier.
Is that a landmine?
That is your landmine 25th win in 1980 was against the Red Sox. Who was the opposition? The look of despair on your face right now.
Haven't the foggiest.
High level. It was your 25th win. You cared so much.
Well, it's one of those 3.
It's the official slogan of Sticks and Stone. It's one of those 3.
I was a teammate of Steve Renko, so I'll say him. For no other reason than I was a teammate of his.
But you don't remember?
No.
Quite often you do.
I don't remember who the mound opponent was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you remember the game.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good news. It's all coming back to you now. Maybe by the end of the series, you'll figure out who your opposition was that day. Benintendi with the leadoff man aboard for the 3rd time. Just the 2nd hit given up by Giolito in this game.
Infield playing him as a dead pull hitter. Outfield pretty much straight away.
Nearing 100 pitches, Giolito on 1-1. Touched foul, 1-2.
Benintendi, somewhat surprisingly, 2nd on the team in walks. Betts has 67. Benintendi has 65.
Long look in, now the sign. Betts at first. Strike 3. He ran the rail on the inside corner.
Benintendi not very happy with Ted Barrett. And we'll take a look. Little late movement. And too close to take.
Yeah, sometimes you get beat. And he got beat.
Yep, he did. Not very happy with the end result.
J.D. Martinez. First pitch, Hunting. In the air, right center field. Avi skating in. Two down, Betts at first, and here's your answer. Let's jog Steve's memory on who he faced. Keith McWhorter.
No idea.
One of your favorite pitchers. You've forgotten?
Yep.
What was Steve Renko like as a teammate?
Good guy. Big guy. Very, very nice guy. Right-handed starter.
Keith McWhorter, by the way, made 2 career starts.
And that was one of them.
One was against you.
How about that?
He was out of Bryant College. You ever meet him, Bryant College?
I remember him.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
Giolito with a shutout going. Xander Bogaerts the opposition. Yeah, first pitch strikes now. 15 of 22 after the first 6 didn't see one. Second base, Moncada for out number 3. 6 shutout innings for Lucas Giolito against the best offense in Major League Baseball. One of our great post-game interviews this year was Matt Davidson in Minneapolis as he talked about his penchant for earthing, going barefoot to reintegrate with nature when he gets off a plane and gets to a new ballpark. We thought he was joking at the time, at least I did. I don't know about you.
No.
He was telling the truth. He loves earthing. Chuck Garfien got to do it with him, right, Chuck?
Yeah, me being the intrepid reporter that I am, I had to find out what this was all about. So before the game here today, I went and I earthed on this field with Matt Davidson, becoming one with the earth. It's all about putting your bare feet on grass. You can also do it on sand or dirt, and what he says happens is it can give you more energy going into a game. It can help with pain. It can lower stress. This is all documented stuff, and I kind of felt relaxed. I felt good earthing with Matt Davidson.
Yeah, but one of the things you should look into is yellow pants, because they go so well with green feet. You're going to keep on earthing, Chuck.
Yeah, your fashion show
You're going to get pretty green.
I don't want to be part of your fashion show. Do you feel like the energy's carried over into the broadcast,
Well,
Chuck?
let me talk a little bit about how it's fed off on his teammates. He showed Ryan Lamar about it. Now, the Arizona Diamondbacks believe in earthing. That's where Davidson found out about this. So Ryan Lamar tried it before that home run, his first Major League home run in Detroit. He was earthing before the game. He was running on the field barefoot. And every game that he has started, Ryan Lamar, he has done this earthing thing, and he has had a big game. He went 2 for 3, he went 1 for 3, and he was earthing in New York last night before the game. Goes 3 for 4 with a home run. I do feel like it might have helped my broadcasting tonight. I can't be sure. But I'm not going to say it doesn't work, because it's worked for these guys.
Yeah, it has. I tend to think you just look more hale. But Ryan Lamar last night, with a heavy heart, certainly told us postgame about his friend who passed away, and he was thinking about him for most of the game. But Ryan Lamar post-earthing with a laser show.
3 extra base hits in the same game. If you could just get a couple of extra base hits, I think the whole league would be earthing.
Chuck, I gotta, before we let this go, I gotta know, is there like a time limit you gotta earth for?
You do it for about 10 or 15 minutes. It really is this. You're just, it's the feeling of, you know how you feel when you go to the beach?
Yeah.
And you got no shoes, no socks. It just feels good. It's relaxing. And that's kind of what these guys want to do. They're on planes. You know what it's like to be on planes here and there and everywhere. And they just kind of want to connect their feet to the ground. And you kind of just do it for about 10 or 15 minutes. It actually feels kind of good. It's simple, and it's working for them. And it helped Matt Davidson draw a walk. How about that?
You know what? I see causation there. I definitely do. Chuck, thank you for that natural report. Porcello is leaving. He will be earthing somewhere else. 4-0 Sox. Davidson a leadoff walk. The Sox continue after this.
And it is Brandon Workman on for the 32nd time. He's 2-0, 2.61 ERA. That's very good. Only 10 walks in 31 innings. Left-handers have done nothing with him. Opponent sitting just 225 overall. That's also a good number. He inherits Matt Davidson. And there is Rick Porcello. His night is done. And it was not one of the better nights, but he seemed to have calmed down since first 2 innings where he gave up all 4 of the runs.
That was the good news. The bad news is he only goes 5+. Walks 3, strikes out 7. At a first pitch strike for Kevin Smith, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of ground balls tonight. All right, four-seam fastball, curveball, cutter is what you'll see from Workman. Best opposing batting average comes against his curveball at 256. The fastball, whether four-seam or cutter, average against is like 206 this year. And that's the curveball you're supposed to be able to hit. Not that version, but
no, that is his knuckle curve, and stayed on the inside part of the plate. Good enough for a strike. Not very hittable.
He's throwing a lot more curveballs this year. 13% more curveballs than last year. Brandon Workman, right-hander out of the Red Sox bullpen. He's now 30 years old, out of Arlington, Texas. Played for the legendary late Augie Garrido at University of Texas.
Workman apparently thinks Matt is going to steal.
That's inside. Ball and 2 strikes. Brandon Carlin Workman. His middle name is Carlin. And Matt Davidson and steal are 3 of the words that you can't say on television, typically.
I don't think he's going to be running anytime soon. Especially because when he threw over to first, Matt was about a half a step off the bag.
Third base, Nunez feeds Kinsler, and his turn is there for the double play.
Got a good combination to turn the double play. Catcher running, and no way for Matt to beat this play at second. And they turn a pair.
Now look, saying Matt Davidson is not likely to steal a base is true, by the way. He hasn't stolen a base since 2015, but it's not that he hasn't. How about this? 2012, he stole 3 bases in the same season with Double-A Mobile.
He was trying to establish his running credentials.
He's a very versatile player. He can pitch.
He's usually much faster in the South anyway.
I have no follow-up. One and 2 on Engel. And the Sox bullpen is throwing. Genmar Gomez. Strike 3. 8th strikeout for Red Sox pitchers. Workman gets the double play, and we'll go to the 7th.
presented by Wintrust. It's tomorrow at 11 on NBC Sports Chicago, or stream it on the NBC Sports app.
That food that we showed earlier reminds me that some folks were asking on Twitter where you can get the bacon cheese pretzel dogs in the ballpark. Sections 112, 130, 152, and 538.
And you use your ballpark app to do that.
Oh, yeah. The MLB ballpark app, you got to have it.
And that is one of the great things you can have, especially if you need to locate food. And who doesn't?
It's the best way to go to the ballpark. Eat your way through. 2 balls, no strikes on Nunez with Giolito back out. And there's a look at earlier. The difficulty of keeping it off of you. You got Dad rolling his eyes at the bite. Sister maybe saying, here, take these.
Yeah, you need it more than I do, apparently. Have some napkins.
How about family dinner over there? Take a bite, roll the eyes. Gonna guess that wasn't the first time that there was a problem.
So Lucas at 106 pitches, probably any sign of trouble, and Genmar Gomez comes into this one.
Popped it up. Third base side, foul territory, Sanchez. Hey, head to the ballpark. $1 Hot Dog Wednesdays. Take advantage of this unbeatable deal. Wednesday, September 5th. Sox and the Tigers, 7:10 p.m. Brought to you by Securian Financial, who can help you make every moment count. Find out more at Securian.com.
Big day.
Big day.
Big day.
Can't get the bacon cheese ones on the pretzel roll for $1, but you can get some real good dogs for $1. Bring your friend, bring your lookalike. Have some fun at the ballpark. Brock Holt, who was punched out twice, both swinging. That's a called strike. 7th place in the Nicky Delmonico lookalike contest. Not our top-rated lookalike, but it's 2 balls and a strike on Holt. So Lucas, whose max pitch count this year was 111 2 starts ago in Minneapolis.
He's going to be right there after this one.
Changeup still looks good.
That was a very good one and had Holt well out in front of it. There's some very impressive numbers against a difficult team to face.
By all accounts, the best offense in Major League Baseball, the Boston Red Sox. Checked it up on the changeup, 3-2. You imagine Giolito gives up a base runner, he's out of the game, he gets the out, he stays in?
I would think so.
This is now a career high in pitches, 3-2, and it's downstairs. He's frustrated with himself, and it's a 1-out walk to bring up Kinsler. And Ricky Renteria is going to go get him. 6 1/3 valiant innings tonight for Lucas Giolito.
Well, at 113 pitches, Ricky just came out of the dugout, pointed to the bullpen. It was not one where you'd have a conversation. You don't want to extend him any further. It was a brilliant outing. The fans are going to really appreciate this. He's going to get a standing ovation from everybody in this ballpark who is not a Red Sox fan. They're not going to be very happy with him, but the White Sox fans love him. He has just been brilliant the second part of this season.
He says thank you and walks off. 4-0 Sox in the 7th when we come back.
Genmar Gomez, who inherits Rockhold at first base, 1 out. On for the 19th time. He's 0-1. His ERA of 4.5. There you look at the rest of the numbers. Left-handers have hurt him. He's going to face Kinsler, Leon the switch hitter, and Bradley the left-hander. What a job by Lucas Giolito. 6 1/3, just 2 hits. Responsible for the man at first with a couple of walks and 8 big strikeouts tonight.
That's the whole picture. On a small level, Lucas Giolito got 8 swinging strikes on his changeup. That is the most for him this season.
That's just a wonderful performance. It was very good tonight.
By the way, he had 7 swinging strikes on his changeup twice before. That was his previous season high. Once on July the 28th, once on August the 8th. So that suggests what we've told you, that the changeup has improved throughout the course of this season.
And if you're wondering what happened with that changeup, he didn't have it. He said he was gripping the ball way too tight when he was trying to throw it for the first 3 months of the season. It was around July when he loosened that grip, made an adjustment, and it's such a feel pitch that he has been feeling much more confident throwing it. And this was the most confident we've seen him throw it this year, right?
Yeah, he was, Chuck, he was just outstanding with it. The motion was perfect. The velocity was great.
Line to right field, fair ball. Off the sidewall. It won't score a run. It's a single for Kinsler, and Blake Swihart, who's grabbed a bat, is on deck, and we'll see if he does indeed hit for Sandy Leon.
Don Cooper now out. And we'll see if there is another call to the pen. Normally, after just one hitter, when pitching coach goes out, it's to get somebody loose. We don't see anybody stirring in the bullpen, however, to this moment. But he's got something he wants to talk about with Genmar and Kevin Smith.
Maybe it's just the scouting report on Swihart.
That certainly is part of it. And the fact is, he's a much better left-hand than right-hand hitter. 258 as a left-hander, 159 as a right-hander. He's only hit 1 home run, that coming from the left side.
He's had to play a lot more catcher this year. The injury to Christian Vasquez, who's still on the disabled list. So Kinsler, early in the count, shuttles the ball to right. And here is Swihart. He takes a strike. Former first-round pick of the Red Sox 7 years ago, Blake Swihart. One ball, one strike. One on the ground and through. That'll score the first run tonight for Boston. Kinsler to third, Swihart a pinch hit single, and it's 4-1. Remember, this offense had 12 consecutive hits yesterday.
There's a breaking ball that doesn't break late, doesn't break sharp, and goes through the infield. So Swihart drives in his 12th run of the year, 9th from the left side, and runners at the corners, and Boston is starting to flex its muscles.
So Giolito gives up that 1 earned run. That's to his tab. 6 1/3, 2 hits, 1 earned. The second walk scores, 8 strikeouts. And now Jackie Bradley Jr. takes a first pitch ball.
Sox pen up and going.
In the air, center field. Angles on it. Kinsler tags, and he's on his way home. It's 4-2. The Red Sox cut into the lead a little bit more.
RBI number 53 for Bradley.
There's Ryan Burr, who we've only seen very sparingly that one time in Detroit. He may have a major spot to come in for tonight. Swihart back to first. So Mitch Moreland, Steve Pearce remaining on the Boston bench.
Swihart successful 3 of 4 times trying to steal.
Upstairs, ball 1 from Gomez to Betts. Seven outs to get tonight. And Mookie Betts, one of the most valuable players in baseball, standing in. There's a strike down the middle, a slider. Betts crushes it. Left field. Gone. We are tied in the 7th. Mookie Betts parks one to left. The Red Sox are all the way back.
Here's an idea how good that performance by Lucas Giolito was. He held down this ball club. And leaving the ball game, our Ford home run replay ties it at 4. Towering fly ball that keeps on going.
Lucas goes inside. Mookie Betts, number 29, 2 off his career high. That was in 158 games 2 years ago. This is in 115. Strike called to Benintendi. It's not fun when it's happening to your team, but Mookie Betts has such a sweet swing.
He's just a terrific hitter. There's no doubt about it. And the scary thing is he does keep getting better. So Lucas Giolito will get a no decision here tonight, despite a brilliant performance.
Well, he'd gotten a lot of run support in his starts in the past, and this time a whale of a start. Goes 6 1/3 1 earned runs to no decision land, and there's strike 3. Benintendi, 3rd punch out. But the Red Sox have tied the game with a 4-run 7th. pitcher for the Red Sox.
Joe Kelly comes in the game, the hard-throwing right-hander, on for the 61st time. He's 4-1, his ERA at 3.86. Control occasionally eludes him, but he's got a big fastball, and left-handers have not done anything with him. Opponent's hitting just .217. He's only allowed 3 home runs. Blake Swihart, who got the pinch hit, stays in the game behind the plate.
Who will be the hero tonight? Sanchez, Delmonico, Garcia coming up. Joe Kelly. First pitch ends up volleyed to center field. Yolmer's 3 for 4. Why wait to get to the curveball or slider?
Kicked on a first ball fastball, drives into the center field. 3 for 4 tonight for Yolmer. As you would expect on Yolmer t-shirt night.
A beautiful looking piece of thread. So here's Nicky, who had 2 long trips to the plate in the first and second. He went 3 and 2 in the first and walked. 3 and 1 in the second, he doubled. Then first pitch hunting, he flied out in the fourth. Nicky in the air, right field. Betts is back at the warning track. He makes the catch.
And Nicky just puts his hands on his helmet, realizing that he literally missed this by an eyelash. A towering fly ball that ran out of room on the track. And Nicky thought he had it, then he didn't.
So close. Sanchez, Delmonico, both first pitch ambushing Joe Kelly, and maybe, just maybe, that conversation was about throwing something that's not a fastball early on. Especially to Avi Garcia. Sanchez at first. And it was a tight breaking ball for strike 1. Oh, and 2. Oh, and 2.
Let's take a look at StatCast AI, powered by AWS, and back to the first inning, the 2-run homer by Avi. His 15th of the year, 110.6 miles an hour exit velocity. And an Avi fan caught the souvenir. Sanchez
at first, 1 out. Avi takes a 4th straight breaking ball, 2 and 2. You just keep throwing it or what?
He knows if he can get one more in the neighborhood, it's at bat over, but you run the risk of throwing 5 in a row of hanging this one. It's going to be another one. Let's see where he throws it.
Upstairs, and Blake, we saw you do that.
Yeah, that's you can't sell that one.
Swihart's future in the Magic trade is in question. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sanchez runs. The pitch is called strike 3. Throw to second. Quick tag. Save. Kinsler thought he had the glove down. Sanchez steals second.
He gets a tag down very quickly.
He didn't touch him, though.
It didn't look like he tagged him until. Ooh, hello. Tagged him there.
If Yolmer had it his
though.
way, he'd have tagged him earlier.
A little late on the tag, apparently. They will take a look at it.
So replay review. Just what Yolmer Sanchez needs, the opportunity to relive this a couple of times. The perils of the slide. If you care to, here's another look here at.
Yeah. Hey, look, I don't think he'd have gone back to tag him a second time if he felt he got him on the first time. And he lays a glove down, but he doesn't get him here.
He gets him here.
He does indeed.
A stunning conclusion later. Yeah, that's safe.
You would think so.
Agree?
Yeah. I don't think there's enough to overturn it. Looked like he definitely missed him with the quick tag and then went after him a second time.
Here's the call. Safe.
Inning will stay alive as Yolmer steals a bag. Stolen base number 12 for Yolmer. 12 out of 18.
Daniel Palka, who's had some huge hits this year. First pitch ground ball foul. The Red Sox scored 4 in the top of this inning to tie the game after the White Sox got 3 in the first and 1 in the second.
Interesting choice for Cora because you've got first base open. You have the righty-lefty matchup with Tim Anderson in the on-deck circle for a righty-righty matchup. Yet, at least on the first pitch, he went after him.
Sharp break, strike 2. Sanchez at second. Oh, 2. Daniel takes outside. (4-4) White Sox and Red Sox. 1-2 to Palka. Daniel Palka hoping to have one more impressive month to the end of his first major league season. Lead run at second base, and Daniel calls for time. One, 2. Wide of third this time. Joe Kelly, Daniel Palka. Is the bat that Daniel's holding containing the lead? 1-2. We're not sure yet. Hey, Sox fans, join Yolmer Sanchez, Tim Anderson, Ron Kittle, and others December 9th. Sox on the beach with Apple Vacation. Stay 7 nights at the all-inclusive Iberostar Paraíso Lindo in beautiful Riviera Maya, Mexico. There's a private welcome party and autograph session, food and drink, and a special group activity with your White Sox hosts. 1 and 2 all over again. Kelly to Polka. Another breaking ball.
Well, the last fastball was 99 miles an hour, and somehow Daniel was able to foul it off. It was upstairs, very tough to handle, but he kept the at-bat alive.
Tense moment, 7th inning. 2 on, 2 out, 1 on, and Polka takes downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Javi Garcia, a 2-run homer and a sac fly. He's driven in 3. Two-two. Swing and a miss for strike 3 on the changeup. A rare changeup from Kelly, who machine guns Polka. We'll go to the 8th, tied at 4. At Great American Ballpark, Christian Yelich, the 8th Brewer ever to hit for the cycle, but he had more tires on the cycle than the normal person.
6 hits, pretty impressive. Cycle or no cycle, 6 hits is very impressive.
13-12 the final score, and this throw, good defender as well, right on target to cut down a run at the plate.
And we get a new pitcher coming in the ball game. It is Ryan Burr. See the last time out? He threw it pretty well. He'll have to do it again here tonight as he goes through the middle of his very potent Red Sox order.
JD Martinez, first pitch, he drops in a slider for strike 1. Takes a little confidence.
Pretty good call, I would say, by Kevin Smith. I mean, he felt that was the best pitch for that situation, and he threw a strike with it.
0-1 from Burr. Martinez blown away at 95. 0-2 to JD Martinez, who's aiming at that Triple Crown possibility. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Giolito kept him quiet. (0-2) from Burr. Off the plate outside. Ted Williams, 1942. 36 homers, 137 driven in, 356 average. Second, and first for Martinez right now here in 2018. He's got a chance. Two balls and two strikes, and along with Ted Williams in 1942, 1947, Miguel Cabrera the last one to do it.
How about no one from 1967 till 2012? A long Triple Crown dry spell.
Don't know you want to go 95 down the middle another time.
No, he's just a wonderful hitter. Has been for a long time.
Two and two from Burr. Martinez in the air, right field. Avi at the warning track. He's underneath. So Nicky thought he got one. Martinez thought he got one. They were both wrong.
That ball, like Nicky's, seemed to just die at the track. The little wind there is, and there's not much, but it is blowing in.
For Ryan Burr, who, when he went out to the mound his first time, the advice he got from then Sox skipper Joe McEwing, Ricky Renteria was out with his health situation for those couple of days. And Super Joe said to Burr, he said, look, I know you're nervous. Step off the mound, look up, soak it all in. You will never have this moment ever again. Just take it all in. And it seemed to calm him down a little bit.
He was pretty impressive the first time out. He'll have to be that and more here tonight.
His leg was shaking like it never has before as he went out to the mound. Didn't get a lot of sleep when he was first called up. Hasn't pitched since that Detroit debut. So Burr in the 8th inning against the top offense in baseball. 1-1 to Bogaerts. And he drops his bat. He was compelled to do so by Burr, who typically is a better shot than that.
Yikes. We'll take another look. Buzzes him inside, and the bat goes flying.
Time called. Two balls and a strike. And that pitch will come at some point. Not yet.
No. Clearing something up in the eye department.
Two and one to Bogaerts. And he goes after a ball downstairs. 2-2. Sox in the home 8th will have Anderson, Moncada, and Davidson coming up against the Boston bullpen.
Hector Velasquez is throwing in the pen for Boston.
Two. He got inside. And still 2 balls and 2 strikes. 11 pitches for Burr after Gomez gave up the 3 earned runs. Lucas Giolito 6 1/3, 1 run on 2 hits tonight. He was outstanding against Boston. Ball's drilled to left field, down the line, and foul.
Fortunately, that one started to hook pretty much after it left the third base bag and continued to hook foul, but it was hit awfully hard.
Two things happen when you start to hear thunder in the distance and it approaches more loudly. Either the storm dodges you or you get soaked. 2-2. Full count on Xander Bogaerts, who struck out, reached on an error, and grounded out tonight. Payoff from Burr. High in the air, right-hand side. Moncada grabs out number 2. Sox fans, join us. It's halfway to St. Patrick's Day, Saturday, September 8th, 6:10 p.m. The Sox take on the Angels, and the first 10,000 fans, 21 and over, get a White Sox snapback hat presented by Goose Island Beer Company. Goose Island, Chicago's beer. 2 out, Eduardo Nunez.
Defense playing him a couple of steps right of center.
Oh, that knocks Ted Barrett's equipment around. So you wanted that chin guard, huh?
Ooh. Yeah, that got him flush. I think he's okay, but it knocked his protector that you use to protect your throat off the mask.
Right field side, tough play. Avi, Yoan, Moncada's got it for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for Burr. 4-4. Thank you. The Red Sox are going deeper into their bullpen here in a tie game in the 8th.
We head into the bottom of the 8th, and a new pitcher coming into this one, Ryan Brazier. On for the 21st time. He's been spotless. 6 walks, 18 strikeouts in 21 innings, and a 1.29 ERA.
Brazier had a rough enough year for a team in the Far East that he wrote an email to every major league team in mid-January and said, "I'm available. I'll be pitching in Arizona. Please show up." 8 teams showed up. He threw. A month after his workout, he didn't hear much of anything. Then the Red Sox called. They said, "We like your stuff." They signed him March the 2nd. Had 13 out of 14 in save tries in AAA and got called up, and now he's a big part of this bullpen.
He's got 17 of his 20 outings have been scoreless, so things going very well for him. And a whip of .76 is very usable in the major leagues or any place else.
Fouled away. He's had Tommy John surgery. Brazier, and he spent 5 years between Japan and the minor leagues away from Major League Baseball after his original debut. And there's strike 3 on Anderson, 1 gone in the 8th. MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for $49.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer. One out, Moncada. It was a first pitch fastball, but it was up.
Brazier's given up 1 home run this year in 21 innings of work.
How about a second?
Well, you would think that Yuan would absolutely love to second that.
Brazier was going to throw anyway. And now he dances off the mound. Brazier to Moncada. That's a ball in the dirt. Red Sox in the 9th will have Holt, Kinsler, and Swihart scheduled. Up and out of the zone, 2-1.
He wanted to throw a high fastball, and Yuan looked at it, knew that it was not a strike, and held up.
Popped up third base side. Nunez is back on it, and Eduardo Nunez makes the catch. That's in fair territory for out number 2.
And Yuan could not pick up where the baseball was until it was on its way down, then had to hustle to first base.
Two out for Davidson with his 18 home runs. RBI single in the first inning. He gets Brazier for the first time and hits it hard to short. Xander Bogaerts, quick throw, and he's on target as he bowls it on to Holt. Somebody's going to get a last at-bat win here in game 1 of this series. A soft landing for the Arubans. Xander Bogaerts to first. the Sox win. You get 50% off your entire online order of regular menu priced items only at papajohns.com when you use promo code SOXWIN. Valid at participating Papa John's locations. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
And we got a new pitcher in the ball game. In a tie game, Thiago Vieira comes in the game on for the 10th time. ERA, plain like. 1-0 record, 6 strikeouts and 8 2/3.
It's better than an MD-88.
Yeah. For a bit, we'll see.
Vieira will face Holt first, then Kinsler and Swihart. First one, a fastball at 96 for strike one. Sox in the home ninth. They'll have Kevin Smith, Adam Engel, Yolmer Sanchez scheduled. Narvaez, Rondon, and Lamar on the bench. Red Sox have a chance to grab a game on the Yankees as Dellin Betances gave up a home run to Victor Martinez in the ninth, and the Tigers beat the Yankees.
Yankees moved ahead 7-5, only to lose 8-7.
That was a strike, and he did not get it.
I think Kevin Smith is just shaking his head. Says something to Ted Barrett, then just turns around and will hang the signs.
Two-one.
A lot of Red Sox fans here, and they've been watching that Yankee scoreboard, the Yankee game on the scoreboard, and the news just came down. The Yankees are about to acquire Andrew McCutchen to add to their offense.
Where are you going to put him?
Good question.
Called strike three. Vieira to the corner for out number one.
Good fastball, and he rings him up.
Seriously, where are you going to put McCutchen?
I don't think he can play center field there anymore. I think he's got to play one of the corners. And
Gardner?
Against a right-handed starter, you wouldn't think he'd play left. I mean, they need as many, at least for now, need as many left-handers as they want, maybe for just insurance.
Maybe they're not sure when Judge will be back.
Well, that's definitely the case. And, you know, he hasn't picked up a bat yet, Chuck. So at first they said 4 to 6. Then everybody started talking about 3 weeks. It's been over 5 weeks, and he still hasn't swung a bat.
Oh, and 2.
Yeah, that's insurance for the offense, right? Just in case.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
But then what happens to him? I mean, it's one of those situations where you want to play every day, you want to be part of a championship team, but if Judge were to come back, which who knows, what do you do?
Aaron Judge plays.
Oh, that's true.
You know, that's for sure.
Deadline coming up at September 1st. You've got to have a guy on your roster if you want to have him available for the postseason. So that's where the deadline comes in here.
I'm sure that's probably the case, because if Judge isn't ready to go, you'll need somebody. And McCutchen's got a lot of experience.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Kinsler. The Red Sox with a 4-run 7th inning tonight to tie the game here in the 9th. 3-2. Left center. Engel can't get there. Kinsler's 3rd hit tonight, and the lead run is on in the 9th for Boston.
Kinsler, one of the few guys that can hit that fastball pretty well. It doesn't matter how fast it is. He's always been able to turn on a fastball. There is a fastball. It's down. It looks to be out of the strike zone, but Kinsler goes down and gets it. Doesn't hit it all that hard, but hits it hard enough.
Well, we talked about it. You lose miles an hour to the hitter's eye with a fastball down as compared to up.
Swihart with a big pinch hit. That in the 7th inning drove home a run in a 4-run inning.
Another throw to first from Vieira. Fastball 95. Strike one to Swihart.
Red Sox pen up. They don't score, it's Hembree. They do score, it's Kimbrel. Kimbrel on the right, Hembree on the left. Kinsler swiped 10 bases, caught 7 times, has not attempted a stolen base yet. No, that's not it. 2 out of 4 stolen bases for Boston.
Way outside. Well, Swihart for his career only has 6 home runs in 170 games. Coming up on 500 at bats. Alex Cora has tried to find him some extra at bats. Part of the reason Hanley Ramirez was jettisoned early this year is to find some extra at bats for folks, including Swihart.
Was a former #1 draft pick. They thought enough of him in 2011 to make him the 26th pick overall in the 1st round.
Behind 96, 2-2. Kinsler at first, 2-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Everything arm side for Vieira. And there is Jackie Bradley Jr., who has been swinging a hot bat recently for Boston. (3-2). Kinsler runs and it's fouled away. This is game 1 of 4 between the White Sox and Red Sox. Game 2 tomorrow. That'll be right here on NBC Sports Chicago. Michael Kopech starting in the game on a Friday night at Guaranteed Rate Field. He'll face Nathan Eovaldi. 7-10 first pitch. Throw to first. It was high. Kinsler spun his wheels just a little bit. Three and 2 on Swihart. We'll have to wait. Ian Kinsler must feel like an only child over there. He's getting a lot of attention from Thiago Vieira.
Well, he's going to take off. And Vieira wants to make sure that he doesn't get that extra step on the lead.
3 and 2 for Swihart. Another foul, sliced left side. Sox have used 3 right-handers out of the bullpen behind the righty Giolito tonight. Yesterday, Cedeno threw an inning. 3 days ago in the opener in New York, he threw to 1 batter. Cedeno's pitched quite a bit recently. 3-2, up and out, ball 4. 2 on, 1 out, and I bring up Cedeno because the Sox are kind of thin in numbers in guys who you'd really want to ride today in this game 1. Two on, 1 out, Jackie Bradley Jr. There's strike 1 to Jackie Bradley Jr., who was named after the famed singer Jackie Wilson.
Jackie Wilson was a good one.
A tremendous entertainer.
Yep.
A 1. We'll have to wait. The Red Sox want to balk there.
Well, if he didn't step off the mound, they got to make a good case for it.
No balk called. 1-1 on Bradley Jr. with Mookie Betts next. And there are a lot of last guys you want to face in a key situation, but he is real low on the list.
That wouldn't be the guy.
Two on, 1 out. Vieira throws low. A lot of pitches for Thiago here in the 9th.
It's number 23 on the way.
Foul. 2-2.
Bradley's grounded into 6 double plays. He's got very good speed. So unless he hits it right on the button, right at somebody, it's going to be very difficult to turn a pair.
Well, if you got a double play in you right now, this is the time for it. If there's one bubbling to the surface of Thiago Vieira's right arm, use it. 2-2. Red Sox in the lead now by 8 in the American League East after the Yankees lost tonight. Boston on the verge, 14 wins away from setting a club record with 106 wins. The record of 105 set the first year of Fenway Park back in 1912. Rope to right field. Kinsler around third. Avi unloads. It's cut off. Boston takes the lead with an RBI single for Jackie Bradley Jr. in the 9th.
Driving in, run number 54. Reaches out. This one is away and ropes it into right field. Avi does a nice job of corralling it, but the throw is cut off and no chance at all to get a guy who still runs pretty well in Ian Kinsler. So Don Cooper has had his say. That was a good at bat by Bradley because he fouled off some tough pitches and kept the at bat alive long enough to drill one into right field.
And credit the guys before him in the lineup, too, because the minimum they saw those first 3 trips to the plate was 5 pitches. So everybody's watching on the bench. You get a look at what he throws. And so now Mookie Betts trying to add on for Boston. Swihart at third, Bradley at first, and ball 1.
Kevin Smith has already given his set of signs to the infield on what he's going to do if Bradley takes off. Bradley 13 out of 14 in stolen bases.
It's really it's not a no-lose situation, but it's a low-risk spot here.
I think they wouldn't hesitate to send him at all if you had a better runner at third base. And, you know, Swihart's a decent enough for a catcher. He's a very good runner, but overall, in the grand scheme of things, he's not a burner.
Bradley was thinking about going right there.
Yeah.
He was in runner form.
Runner mode?
Yeah. It's a called strike up in the zone. Mookie Betts questioning his own grasp of the strike zone. Fastball up, strikes him out. 2 gone. Benintendi coming up.
This one up and out of the zone, but he fires it by him.
So the Red Sox fans here were chanting MVP when Mookie Betts showed up to the plate. Then he struck out, and some Sox fans started chanting MVP as he was going back to the dugout. Benintendi 0 for 4. Tiago's going to have a finely tuned move to first.
Yeah, he's got that down.
Called a strike. Benintendi struck out looking twice against Lucas Giolito. Then Gomez punched him out to end the 7th as Tiago's thrown 30 times. Brazilian right-hander. Ground ball to center field. Swihart scores. Jackie Bradley Jr. to third. It's 6-4 Boston.
First hit of the night for Benintendi, and with it he drives in his 76th run. Goes down, gets a low fastball, and takes it right back up the middle.
Two in, 2 on, 2 out. And JD Martinez is next with Benintendi at first. The White Sox in the home ninth have Smith, Engel, and Sanchez coming up, and Craig Kimbrell likely to be the opponent.
Now he's the opposition.
Unless Boston scores a couple more runs, then you might think about mothballing him for the night.
2 more, it'll be Hembree. 1 or none. He will come in. Kimbrell with 37 saves and a .255 ERA. But the big thing is 81 strikeouts in 53 innings. He's got magnificent stuff.
That ball is immediately to right center field. J.D. Martinez may have just told Kimbrel to sit down. It's a 3-run home run here in the 9th.
That's 39 of them and 114 driven in. So when they talk about MVPs, I know Mookie Betts is a terrific player. You're going to be hard-pressed to keep J.D. Martinez out of the equation. The Ford home run replay, it's opposite field, and it's easily gone.
J.D. Martinez hadn't been 0 for 5 all year. He still won't be. So the Red Sox, who are hugging profusely, have 5 of the top 35 guys in wins above replacement coming into this game, and Martinez is one of them. He's 8th in baseball at 5.4 coming in. Mookie Betts 8.5, but this lineup is just so loaded. You can't take batters off.
You don't get 50 over 500 without having a tremendous amount of talent up and down the lineup, and that's what they were coming in. 50 over 500.
You double back to what Giolito did in those 6 1/3.
Remarkable when you take a look at, well, my scorecard. I use a red pen for the hits, and there was nothing going on for a while.
No, your red pen had a lot of ink.
And last couple of innings, well, starting in the 7th inning, not so much. A sea of red, actually.
Some may call that the Red Sea. There's ball 4 to Xander Bogaerts. The 9th batter of the inning will come up. And for Ricky Renteria, you have diminishing returns. If you get somebody else up and out into this game, and it looks like he's going to have to. (9-4), top of the 9th.
I assume this one has Hector Santiago written all over it. So here comes Hector as he strolls in. We'll stroll out. We'll be back. The Red Sox. Coverage begins at 7, and you can stream the game on the NBC Sports app. Time for a Lakeside Bank call to the pen. And it is Hector Santiago who comes in to stem the tide. On for the 42nd time. 5-3, ERA of 4.81, and all things considered, pretty good year for him as he's been asked to do a very difficult job.
That job is everything.
Yeah, I mean, whenever there's a need, he finds it.
Hector has started. He's mopped up in the back of the bullpen. He's gotten bridge innings in between starter and next reliever. He's been in charge of the boombox, the oversized boombox.
He had a lot of responsibilities this year.
Always very well dressed on the road. Typically one of the top White Sox fashion folk. One for Nunez. This Boston team was scoreless through 6. Then a 4-run 7th and 5 in the 9th. Bogarts at first. And a foul ball. Red Sox in that series in June went 1 for 26 with runners in scoring position in that 3-game series. You wouldn't figure that would happen again, what with their league best batting average.
No, I wouldn't think so.
That bounces away.
It's probably going to be ruled a wild pitch.
Careful on that limb.
Yeah, it's a very wild pitch.
Yeah, how's your footing out there on the limb? Boy, you know what I've always admired about you? You can see scoring decisions before they happen. You're great at calling pitches, you're great at forecasting plays, but the scoring decisions really are super impressive.
Especially with that one what bounced 4 feet in front of the plate.
I don't know how you saw it. It's beautiful, really breathtaking. Still 3-2 on Nunez. This is nothing, by the way. They scored 11 in an inning last night, the Red Sox did. Hector ended up on the ground, and Brock Holt will bat for the 2nd time in the inning. Red Sox had 1 base runner in this game in the first 4 innings. Giolito faced the minimum through 4. He left the bases loaded in the 5th, gave up 1 single in the 6th, and suddenly a barrage from Boston. As Hector pumps in a strike, and Brock Holt is 2 strikes away from the scarlet letter O twice in this inning. He struck out to start the inning and in danger of getting the 3rd out as well. His 2nd hung on him this inning. One. Now 2 balls and a strike. Tomorrow, Sox and Sox will play again. Michael Kopech on the mound for the White Sox after being drafted by Boston. Traded to Chicago in December of 2016. A reunion. There's a strike, 2-2. And so we have probable starters for tomorrow.
It's a battle of fastballs because Nathan Eovaldi has a big fastball also.
Pretty gruff in that picture too.
When he's healthy, he's pretty good.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Second base, Yoan on the flat hop, feeds Anderson, and that is out number 3. However, Boston takes a big lead, and the Sox have 3 outs to go.
Martinez. He goes opposite field and crushes this one. 39th home run of the year. 114 driven in, and that one, for all intents and purposes, put it away, barring a miracle. And it's Heath Hembry coming on for the 57th time. He's 4-1. His ERA a touch over 4, but 68 strikeouts and 52 2/3 innings.
Yeah, that's good.
Back into the bullpen for Boston has been pretty good this year.
They have had their moments recently, but overall, yeah, it's a keeper. Kevin Smith will bat first. This is one of those ninth innings you need Enrico Palazzo not wanting to call the third out.
And good calls, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, right. You know, it's the 30th anniversary of Naked Gun.
Is it really?
Yeah. One of the great baseball scenes in any movie.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
They have the press box with all the announcers. Jim Palmer, your former teammate, was there. Dick Vitale, Mel Allen.
Yeah.
Evidently, for that baseball scene, they initially, the folks who were writing the scene for Naked Gun, they had asked, because a couple of them were Brewers fans, they had asked to have the Brewers involved. They didn't want generic teams, so they had to talk to Major League Baseball. They thought it was funnier when you had real Major League Baseball teams. So they asked for the Brewers, and Major League Baseball said no, that it was going to have to be the Mariners or bust. Evidently, the Mariners were struggling at the time, and Major League Baseball thought they could prop up the Mariners a little bit by giving Naked Gun Seattle.
So they willed them Seattle?
So they did. Then Reggie Jackson played for the Angels, of course.
Yes.
There's a great story, oral history of the making of that scene a couple days ago online. And Reggie Jackson had said that the only line they gave him was, "I must kill the queen." As this is second base, and Kinsler for out number 1. Reggie said that was the only line they gave him because they thought he was too stupid to do any other lines. That's according to him. Chuck, what could you possibly have about that?
Well, I can tell you I've seen Naked Gun probably 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And in around 1991, I met Leslie Nielsen.
Did you really?
He came to Chicago. He was promoting, I believe, Naked Gun 2 or Naked Gun 3.
2.5. Yeah, 33 1/3.
Yeah, 2.5 or 33 1/3. And you know how he used to walk around? Maybe you don't know this. He used to have the sound of, let's call it a whoopee cushion, in his pocket.
Did he really?
And I went up to him to meet him, and he signed an autograph for me, signed it Enrico Palazzo, because I asked him to do that. And when he shook my hand, the sound of the whoopee cushion went off, and he said to me, "Oh, you happy to see me?"
Wow.
Leslie Nielsen.
Where did you meet him?
I met him here in Chicago. I was interning at NBC5 in the sports department, and he was promoting the movie, and he came to town, and I met him.
How about that?
I can't believe I just said that story on the air, but that just shows you the humor of Leslie Nielsen.
You know what? That story wouldn't have been nearly as good had you not earthed before the game.
Yeah, I mean, you were bearing down on that story, Chuck, because of the great earth you encountered before the game. Very nice.
2-1. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He used to go on the Tonight Show and do the same thing, though. He did it to Johnny Carson.
Are you just defending yourself now that you fell for the whoopee cushion routine from Leslie Nielsen?
It's got to be on YouTube. Someone needs to Google Leslie Nielsen Tonight Show YouTube, and you'll find it.
He did it on Carson, so I'm okay. 2-2. On the ground to third. Nunez has to fade away throw, and he's not going to get there. And it's an infield single for Adam Engel.
There might be a guy or two you had a shot at in the major leagues, but Adam Engel's not one of them. Not when you're retreating that far at third base. He was playing deep to start with, then had to retreat. And even if you have a rocket for an arm, you're not going to get anybody who runs like Adam.
A nearly full moon. Is that waxing or waning?
Got me.
You don't even know who faced you when you got your 25th win in 1980. Why
Nope.
am I asking you about
I have no idea.
lunar phases? I got no shot.
I have no idea.
One strike, angle at first, Sanchez at the plate. It's fouled off a couple people.
Hey, Keon.
Yes, Chuck?
Yes.
What you got? Chuck, why are you talking to Keon and not us?
See, he's earthing so much that it comes through like on 4 or 5 different angles, Chuck's voice. It's wonderful.
Oh, 2 is inside. You gonna tell us, or are you just gonna pass notes to the producer?
Yeah, I'm sneaking behind you.
Do you have anything, or are you just?
No, I have nothing. I don't have anything. I was talking to Keon, I thought. Keon, do you have anything?
He doesn't have a microphone. Ball and 2 strikes on Sanchez. On the ground, back to the mound. To second for 1, and that's all they'll get. Boston is on the verge of win number 93. And you look, and this is a storied franchise. They've had great success. And to think that if they win this game, they'd only have to go 13-14 down the stretch for the first-year manager to have the most wins in franchise history is very impressive.
Well, you're hard-pressed to find a weak spot when you take a look at this Boston team.
Maybe the bullpen right now. I mean, Kimbrel's so good.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that. I mean, that really isn't that much of a weak spot. Kimball's very good on the back end, and
they've been great tonight.
Yeah.
What would you say? I mean,
as a weak spot,
yeah,
they can run, they can hit the ball out of the park. Starting pitching is very good, assuming they're all healthy. I mean, put Chris Sale at the top of this rotation, and they're really good. So, yeah, I mean, you don't get to where they are wins-wise without being just a solid top-to-bottom baseball team, and they've been that all year long.
Heath Hembry with 2 out as the 1-2 count now as Sanchez is taking second base. Red Sox bullpen has allowed only 2 hits so far tonight. (9-4) Red Sox after the White Sox led 4-0 after the second this evening. And tomorrow night, Michael Kopech against his former employer. Should be a dandy of a game.
I'm looking forward to that one. See Michael out there for the 3rd time, 2nd time in this ballpark.
Two and 2 on Delmonico. He struck him out and the game's over. The Red Sox win the opener in comeback fashion at 9-4. Lucas Giolito, though, not to be forgotten in this game.
Yeah, I mean, what an outstanding performance he had. 6 1/3, just a 1 run. It was scored when he was not in the ball game. Gave up only 2 hits. He held on a very good lineup, and then things started to dissolve late. Sox bullpen was not equal to the task against a very good offensive team, and the Red Sox draw first blood.
Enjoy the game tomorrow. See you Saturday.
Okay.
Game 2 on the way tomorrow. For our producer, Keon Dolachah here, director Jim Angio, our associate producer, Dave Ross, the tech manager, Mark Harper, our executive producer, Greg Bowman, and the entire NBC Sports crew. Chuck Carpine, barefoot downstairs. Steve Stone, Jason Benetti, so long from Guaranteed Rate Field. Coming up next, Subaru White Sox postgame live. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on NBC Sports Chicago. See you soon.